Hello, everybody. Welcome again to an all-new episode of the Anination podcast. Our first one here in 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Yes, this is our first Anination podcast episode of the year of 2024. So New Year means new resolutions, new things to talk about, new opportunities, new material to cover regarding animation. Basically, new everything.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, obviously, we've been having a long break. We haven't made each other since, before Christmas. So,
Yeah.
we didn't even spend Christmas and New Year's together. We did our own separate thing. Plus, even after New Year's, we actually went to our own conventions. You went up north to SAC Anime. I went down south to Anime Los Angeles. To be fair, very amazing conventions. We're going to explain that in a bit, but I guess it's time for a little catch-up time, since we always do that every time of the Animation podcast. So how have you been ever since?
For me, I have been relatively good, and let me just say that since this is a new year, I plan on working on my New Year resolutions, trying to create a better version of me in a sense. What it means is that I plan to, exercise more, eat healthier, even read daily. I plan to do some reading.
Someone's going into reading now. Are you looking at options of books and stuff and things like that, or?
Yeah, I got a schedule planned out of what books to read, and hopefully I will definitely get into that, because let me tell you, there are some fascinating reads that I want to get into. So yeah.
Okay, all right, sounds good. But yeah, I mean, Christmas was fun. A little bit weird because obviously I hang out with my aunt and my parents for Christmas, but one of my parents ended up becoming like a bah humbug.
A Scrooge Grinch type.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, my Christmas kind of felt a little bit damp just because one of my parents ended up actually being quite salty or something like that. That kind of ruined the mood, but when the day still progressed, we just kind of ditched. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of ditched one of my parents, just because it was just why would you kind of damper us when we're having a fun Christmas mood? So
honestly, if they're in a bad mood, then you know what? The only people that they are hurting with that mood is themselves. You shouldn't let, anyone else let their mood damper your holiday, because it's your holiday.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why I was like, okay, you know what? Me and my sister, we're just going to go to my aunt's place. We're going to get our presents, have fun. And we spent pretty much the whole entire day at my aunt's place. So, I mean, Christmas was bad, but then New Year's was something else. So my family actually celebrated Christmas earlier than New Year's Day, because I actually did something else on New Year's Day. Went with my friends over to his brand new spot in Sacramento, and he ended up having a big party or something like that. It's not really a big party, but it's more like a hangout with friends. So we spent New Year's Eve there, New Year's Day there, and also on New Year's Day celebrated my birthday there, by the way. So,
oh, nice!
Yeah,
very nice birthday celebration. No.
So I went to was it Retro Cordova, over in that NorCal area, and celebrated my birthday there. We just ended up getting Korean food. So
that's cool.
I'm
glad you did.
Fun.
As for my Christmas and New Year's, it was relatively chill, to say the least. How I spent my Christmas was that I was spending time with my mom and her boyfriend, and later on, my mom's boyfriend's daughter and her wife came over to celebrate with us. And basically what I've been doing was that I've been watching some Christmas movies, such as How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version. One of the best Christmas movies I've ever seen. And I just ate some Christmas snacks and all that stuff. It was just all around. It was at Christmas, it was more laid back, chill, and it's just more along the lines of I'm enjoying my day off from work. And also on New Year's, I went to Atwater.
I was wondering where that place was, because I saw Instagram videos of this guy going to a casino or something out there.
It was in Merced County, where I was reunited with my two friends from college, and we've basically been chilling at one of my friends' place, and on Saturday, and then on Sunday when one of my friends left, I went with this other friend, and his dad's girlfriend, and some of his dad's friends. We all gathered in my friend's dad's car, and we all went to this casino. And me and my friend basically walked around the casino, even did one slot machine. And
You didn't go to a lot of slot machines?
no, we went to just one.
Aw.
And let's just say that, you know, after losing $20, that was enough for me. So
Yeah, I mean,
what can I say? I'm just pretty much. Yeah, I've been bad luck when it comes to casinos.
I
so.
mean, okay, so my thing for like
You was a
going,
different
but
story.
for me going to like casinos is more like, hey, make sure you invest not $20. I would say if you have enough portion of like money in your paycheck, and spend much on that and try it on slots. If you lose it all, tough luck. Don't bet more. But if you actually bet and actually gain a lot of money, then that's good to have, you know. And
Yeah.
also make sure that once you hit your spot, don't bet anymore. You don't want to go, you know, worse or anything like that. So.
Oh no, yeah, you don't want to dig yourself a hole. And then, of course, we said we pretty much did the countdown, and then it was a Happy New Year, and yeah, it was like once that particular hour hit, I was already ready for it. I was already ready. I was already set because I just was saying to myself, 24 is going to be my year. I'm looking forward to all the things to come in 2024. So yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited for 2024. I mean, obviously, my birthday was one big thing. So, what's weird is that I celebrated my birthday on the 1st because everybody was there. My friends are there. We ended up celebrating it. And then the 2nd is a work day. So, I went to work on the 2nd. Didn't do any big celebration because the next day I was going to go straight to LA to celebrate my birthday there, too.
You know, Nate, I was just saying about how, you know how during the holiday season, there are two big holidays, Christmas and New Year's. For you, it's three big holidays.
Yeah, I know. That's
Not
why,
just two,
that's why,
but three.
That's why I love this kind of like time because like I have like 3 days to celebrate Christmas, New Year's, and birthday. Then after that, it's pretty much like 360 something what days till the next run of like celebrations. You know,
It's like you got like a bigger package. You know, like pretty much most of us got the silver package. It's like you got the gold package.
I guess you could call it that.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a
a
Happy New Year and a
Plus,
happy birthday.
today. Yeah, go something like that.
Oh my god.
No, exactly. So I mean, no, I had a fun time here, but obviously. The weekend after New Year's, both me and Omid went to different conventions. You went to SAC Anime, I went to Anime Los Angeles. Do you want to tell us your time over at SAC Anime? Because it turns out you had a pretty fun time. I didn't really see much when it comes to your like pictures on Instagram. You didn't want to share everything?
I think it's because more along the lines of SAC Anime. When you look at SAC Anime as a whole, it's not really that eventful.
Wow.
In comparison,
Wait. Stop your horses. Really?
it's not that eventful in comparison to the other conventions I've been to, first of all. Second of all, like there were some things I felt like SAC Anime could have done better. I'll get more into that later. But the stuff that was really good about SAC Anime, they were really good. Like I got to hang with my friend Gregarious. And also we pretty much went around the con. I bought some of the swag. And also the highlight of it was I got to meet a couple of voice actresses,
Nice.
both of whom voiced my favorite characters from their respective media. And coincidentally enough, they're the orange-haired female member of their respective groups.
Okay, we get it. You love, was it Lucy Christian that was...
It was actually, hang on. Yes. First off, so it's Lucy Christian that voices my favorite character, One Piece Nami.
Nice.
I was able to get a picture with her, and yeah, it was nice to finally see her, and you know, talk about how like you're my favorite character from One Piece, and of course Arlong Park is the best arc of the East Blue of the East Blue saga, and that's not all I've seen from her. I also went to this One Piece panel where it was several of the One Piece voice actors, English dub voice actors that were there, and we pretty much had fun time. They were pretty much answering some really creative, like really awesome questions, and they were talking about their passion of doing One Piece for years. That also included the voice actor of Monkey D. Luffy, Colleen Clinkenbeard.
Nice.
Yeah, but I wanted to do a, meet and greet with one of them because let's be honest, if I go for every single one of them, my bank account would be like,
How much do you have to go for a meet and greet?
For Lucy Christian, it was about like $40 to meet to get her selfie.
Okay, that's not bad. I was expecting $100-$200 or something.
Oh no. See, the thing with Lucy Christian is that she isn't quite as big as Chris Sabat, who voiced Zorro, or Colleen Clinkerbeard. Like, Lucy Christian is iconic, of course.
Did you actually know like how much their prices were? Were they higher than Lucy Christian, or?
I didn't check Colleen's because I only planned for Lucy Christian. But Lucy Christian is not the only voice actress from one in general that I got to meet. I also met Erica Lindbergh, who voices my favorite character for Persona 5, Futaba Sakura. And rather than getting a picture with her, instead I had her sign my Futaba Sakura Nendoroid.
Look at that.
So beautiful.
Like, it's pretty sick, actually. We'll put that in the middle just because everybody's watching right now. So, Futaba.
My Futabs.
So we have it all signed up. You have it all sealed good. Now
Yes.
you can actually have it resold for like money. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's a collector's edition for Omi to actually have it signed by the English voice actress of Futaba Sakura. So
I will treasure in my life.
yeah, Persona 5, by the way, amazing game. So please play it if you can.
Oh yeah, Persona 5, like Persona 5 Royal is one of my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I adore that video game so much. High recommend.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So it looks like you had a fun time. Did you go all 3 days, by the way, at Sac Anime?
We actually went on a Saturday because on a Sunday we actually planned to pretty much eat breakfast and then leave early.
Oh, you only went 2 days? You didn't go on that Friday?
I only went on a Saturday.
Ah.
Because Sunday, I feel like on a Saturday, I pretty much did everything I needed to do. Like I said, keep in mind, Sac Anime is a low-key chill convention in comparison to the other cons I've been to. I said that I've done everything I could on the checklist for Sac Anime all in Saturday. I got to go to the One Piece panel. I got to shop for some swag. I got to meet the voice actors I want to meet. I pretty much done it all. So on Sunday, what me and my friend did was that we went to watch Migration in movie theaters.
So what are your thoughts on that movie? Because me and Jess ended up watching that, and that was okay. I think it was actually really good for a movie that was not Minions or, nothing that is Despicable Me or anything Migration or anything Illumination to say.
I will say that Migration is a cute movie. Like, it really is. That's what you can take it for what it is. Family Migration is an okay sort of funnish movie. Like, it's not really trying to be like this big grand animation. It's not trying to be this big grand animated movie. It's trying to be this fun, cute family movie. That's all it needed to be at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So,
and it was okay because like the pacing kind of felt fast when it came to the movie. It's like, oh, all the points are pretty much all pointed out. Like, oh, that's not really that entertaining.
Although Gwen is adorable. Gwen is precious baby
cute
girl.
Baby. And FYI.
Gwen's my favorite character.
FYI, is Aquafina in every animated movie recently?
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, it's not once but twice that Aquafina voices a bird in a 2023 movie.
Yes, and she's also going to be something in Kung Fu Panda 4 coming out, by the way. So I don't know what's going on with Aquafina because I really like her. She's a great actress. But my God, it's like every freaking like animated movie I've seen, she's in it for some reason.
Aquafina is hit and miss. Sometimes she can be charming. Other times, she can be a bit annoying.
Oh, it looks like you had a fun time for that weekend, to say.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a weekend I definitely needed. A fun weekend at Sacramento is
awesome. Now, for me, I went down to Long Beach in California, which is pretty much close to Anaheim, California. We didn't go to Disneyland, by the way. We actually checked out the Long Beach Convention Center, where Anime Los Angeles was. I wish I actually brought my whole bag of ribbons with me so I can like share you what I have. I'll do it next week, by the way. If you guys want me to, I could bring like all of the ribbons that I got from ALA, by the way. There was like so many amazing ones. So I really love Anime Los Angeles, and I've said this in the CaliCon podcast last week, but dude, I think ALA is better than Fanime.
Whoa, you didn't even go that far?
I'm going that far.
Like, okay, I can understand you saying that ALA is better than Sec Anime, and you know what? From the one I've seen,
yeah, Sec Anime, but then Fanime is like our go-to like convention. But
saying it's better than Fanime though.
Yes, I am saying it is. I don't know. Like, I feel so, like, welcoming in Anime Los Angeles. Like, you know, I'm a staffer there for one thing. Like, I staff the ribbon station, and I get a lot of ribbons here and there. One of my best friends, he's also working the ribbon station as well. He's hanging out with me. We're having a fun time. And plus, everybody in that, the staff that are, like, really communicative together. Like, we're really, like, together. Like, we all are friends together and stuff like that. And it's something about ALA that makes it more better than, like, Fanime, for example. Like, imagine staffing at Fanime. I would imagine it being, like, stressful, grieving here and there, that kind of thing. But when you, like, staff at ALA, it actually turns out to be quite a fun time. Plus, I met so many amazing people there, like Amphibia fans, Owl House fans, a lot of other convention folks that are also there, too. Plus, the Artist Alley was also really great, too, because you don't get to see Amphibia and Owl House art at all in Fanime. So when you see it at Anime Los Angeles, I'm like, give me that, give me that, give me that. I'm going to buy it all. So I was just amazed with Anime Los Angeles. Plus, it's like 4 days of convention. So Thursday through Sunday, I was just having a blast. Literally, like, since I was one of those big dealers dealing those ribbons, I literally was playing games with them for them to earn the ribbon, to trade the ribbon, that kind of thing. Again, I have way too many ribbons to bring out, so I really hope you guys come back next week so you guys can see the whole list of ribbons that I will have for everybody to watch. So it is absolutely a blast for Anime Los Angeles. Please go to ALA. Yeah, it's amazing. I have like a lot of pictures about the Amphibia group folks that were there, by the way.
You know, I have said before that I've been meaning to go to Anime Los Angeles. It's just that, like, the way I was financially last month, I felt like, you know, the way, like, I feel like in a financial standpoint, like, I'm more suited to go to SAC Anime than Anime Los Angeles, because as much as I'm going to go to Anime Los Angeles, keep in mind that Anime Los Angeles costs twice as much as SAC Anime.
Yes.
When you factor in the airline ticket.
Yes, but my thing is, like, you could be like us. We drove down all together the day before ALA starts, and that's because we're staff. And then just, you know, spend the whole entire weekend in Long Beach, then leave on Sunday night, you know, that kind of thing. But usually we always leave on Monday morning, but in a special occasion, we had to leave on Sunday night. That was actually a drive where I actually have to stay up till like 3 in the morning to make sure everybody comes home. Yeah, that was quite a ride, but everybody came home safe. I just love the fact that, like, I actually did get Monday off of work, so I just rested up and I just, like, slept a whole entire day for that.
Yeah, dude,
so,
you needed it, man. After a long travel and all that, and after working hard as ALA staff, you definitely needed the rest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely needed it. Again, I'll come back next week. We'll bring up the ribbons. I mean, you're going to love some ribbons that I have, especially some Amphibian Outhouse ribbons.
I'm curious. You know what? I'm curious to check them out.
FYI, Amazing Digital Circus is already starting to bring up their cosplayers.
You know what? I actually...
There's so many Pomnies and Ragathas and, what's the bunny's name again? I forgot.
Max, I believe.
No, it's not. It's somebody else. Nonetheless, I mean, there's so many Amazing Digital Circus cosplays. I'm like, wow, you guys came off of a cartoon that came out in the summer, and look at it now. It's becoming popular. Make it a series.
You know, during my time as SAC Anime shopping, I did happen to glance upon a group of Amazing Digital Circus cosplayers that were somewhere down on, you know, another side from me, but I was able to get a good look at them, and yeah, Amazing Digital Circus is currently the hype, and deservingly so. Pomni, best girl. We stand Jester girl. All right, I'm done.
Oh, here's the other thing too. SAC Anime, I know that there's something huge over at SAC Anime. I just know that not Has Been Hotel, but it's Hell of a Boss. All of their stars were there. Even Genshin Impact were also there too. Were there any cosplayers of those folks in SAC Anime?
I noticed, of course, there were some Genshin Impact cosplayers as well. So if you're big into Genshin Impact, then honestly, Genshin Impact is big, not just in SAC Anime in particular, but also it's big in anime conventions everywhere. So yeah, everywhere you look, in every anime convention you see, you're bound to see at least one Genshin Impact cosplayer.
No, there's many. What are you talking about? There's so many people that are cosplaying Genshin Impact.
You know, just scratch it. You're bound to see at least 5 Genshin Impact cosplayers.
100. There are way too many, like, Genshin Impact cosplayers. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about, well, obviously there's going to be hundreds of Genshin Impact cosplayers, but I'm saying, like, during your time going to an anime convention, and you're walking around, you're bound to see, you know, some of them.
I'm about to see, like, 50 at least, like 150, like, at the end of con. I mean, that's just way too many. while the Amphibia cosplayers were like 5 out of the whole entire convention. I'm so sad. I was literally like the only one there's 2 Ant cosplayers actually. One of my folks, one of the cosplayers that I met up with, he made an amazing Calamity Ant. I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. Kind of cosplay. I selfied with him and everything and all that jazz.
2 Ants. You guys are 2 Ants.
2 Ants. I was gonna say, it was weird because like literally in the Outhouse gathering, one of the Liliths actually cosplayed Sasha the next day. I was like,
nice.
yo, this is sick.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I was just like, okay, at least the Amphibia fandom is still in Long Beach, so I was just happy to see that.
And also, like ALA staff, I know you could definitely teach the SAC anime staff a thing or two about organizing and all that stuff, because the SAC anime staff, I will say the way they run things isn't exactly the best, especially how they schedule cosplay gatherings, because they don't even have a set cosplay gathering schedule. It's just along the lines that they said, oh, whichever's the most popular, it's going to be taking place outside. I'm just like, shouldn't there be like a cosplay schedule?
Was there even an Owl House gathering or anything?
There was last year, but this
no Owl House gathering. SAC Anime, what's wrong with you?
No, I was saying like I went last year. I'm sure there was an Owl House cosplay gathering this year, but because I didn't cosplay Hunter, I cosplay as Mario instead. So I asked them, "Is there going to be a Super Smash Bros. Cosplay gathering?" To which they said they had no idea, or no.
Ain't there going to be like a schedule? Isn't there like a guidebook where you can actually see your schedule or anything?
I was asking them that, and that cosplay schedule wasn't anywhere to be found.
Really, even on the guidebook? Because I thought SAC Anime has a guidebook where you can actually see those gatherings and stuff.
The guidebook has the panels and the map and everything.
While ALA's guidebook has everything.
Yeah, and also I remember we went to this South Park Kids panel, and it was a joke. Like the South Park Kids panel was non-existent. What it was that it was just a small plushie of Eric Cartman and Kyle Broflovsky, and then there was like 3 or 4 cosplays. I didn't even cosplay South Park, asking South Park questions, and it got so lame. It's just like, okay, we were out of here.
Oh no! So SAC Anime have its like bad panels to say. Well, I mean, I didn't go to any ALA panels, to be fair, but I was working, so what can you do? So, again, ALA is better. Come to ALA next year, you know?
Again, like I said, I was not in a financial position to go to ALA during 2024. I am saving them up to go on 2025, so yeah, just pray that I get there,
You'll make it. You'll make it there. Just save money and all that jazz.
Which is one of my New Year's resolutions.
Again, I'll come back next year. I'll show you guys my ribbon chain that I have. It's a lot of ribbons, by the way. So I'll show up the best ones to say. So yeah. Go ahead and actually talk about 2024. Yes, 2024 is the brand new year. Obviously, we're celebrating 2024 now.
Yes.
We're in it right now, and obviously we want to have some big things happening in the future. So I wanted to ask you, Omid, what do you expect coming out for 2024 that you're excited for?
Of course, coming out in 2024, my number one thing is, of course, the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, oh my gosh, like ever since they announced that there's going to be a new Nintendo console coming out in 2024, I have been super hyped for it. I'm just like, okay, as soon as you give the announcement, I'm going to be ready to pre-order like as soon as I can. As soon as the pre-order date comes, I'm going to pre-order it then. So yeah, wish me luck that the Switch 2 doesn't get sold out so easily.
Okay. Well, I'm in the field of animation. This is why the Animation podcast, but Switch 2 ain't bad, but we'll see how it is. I mean, who knows if it's better? I mean...
Yeah, we can only hope. But yeah, in terms of the animation world, though, I will say that I am excited for, of course, all the animated shows, movies, and content to watch.
But I'm excited for, what was it, Kung Fu Panda 4? That's coming out. That looks to be quite exciting. And I didn't know they were going to continue Kung Fu Panda, considering Kung Fu Panda 3 came out many years ago.
Yeah, they all of a sudden decided to just release the 4th Kung Fu Panda movie. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, I want to be excited for it. But on the other hand, I'm pretty cautiously optimistic, given the fact of how, being a Kung Fu Panda movie trilogy, it's already good enough as it is. What could you possibly do with the 4th Kung Fu Panda movie? But, however, there's actually one particular animated sequel that I'm excited for far much more than Kung Fu Panda 4, Inside Out 2.
Okay, that one I can't wait for because, well, I know Pixar was supposed to release it next year, considering Elio was supposed to be this year, but they delayed it. So I don't know why they did that. But I mean, Inside Out 2, I feel like it's going to be a better thing to think about, considering like this is Riley's like emotions when she grows up. She's like, what, 16? She'll have more emotions than just happy, joy, sadness, sadness, anger, and fear.
Yeah, see, usually usually I tend to groan whenever Pixar announces a sequel, because most Pixar sequels that are not Toy Story 2 or Toy Story 3, because Toy Story 2 or 3 are still amazing. Most Pixar sequels turn out to be, okay to mediocre to just plain bad. Inside Out 2, I feel could work. Inside Out 2, I feel could actually legitimately work, because this just screams out, okay, like this is a sequel I feel is absolutely necessary when you consider the fact of how this is a coming of age movie series for Riley, because it's Riley growing up into a teenager. And when you're a teenager, you tend to have more than just the basic emotions. Like you tend to feel more complex emotions like anxiety, jealousy, and all that stuff.
Exactly. And everybody is, I mean, we're all going to fear that. And I feel like those new emotions that are popping up, I mean, I can't wait to see what they are going to be. We already have, what was it, anxiety be a part of it. And by the way, Awkwafina again? Come on! I've already been saying this. Awkwafina, please stop being in animated movies. Please go back into live action. I miss you in live action films.
Oh my god. Awkwafina and Chris Pratt both. Like, Awkwafina and Chris Pratt both are being prominently featured in animated movies now.
What's another thing to also bring up, too? The Garfield movie too.
Yes, the Garfield movie as well. But basically the Garfield movie is basically Chris Pratt voicing Garfield.
I am not gonna lie, it looks pretty interesting, especially the fact that we're going to see Garfield's family, which never got mentioned at all. So
what really captures me though is the stylized animation. Like the way they captured the stylized animation, it's really stellar. Like, it's really its own distinct looking animated feature film. And of course, the Garfield movie does have some jokes that really do land, especially when you've read the Garfield comics and Sunday newspapers like I have. Like, those are really fun to read. And honestly, I could tell that this trailer already, I could tell that this is going to do a much better job at capturing the spirit of Garfield than that live action Bill Murray one.
That had like 2 movies. I didn't like that whole Garfield movie too. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I know that you just had a teaser trailer, but I can't wait for the full trailer to come out real soon. I know that's coming out in the summer, but yeah, I mean, an origin story of Garfield, that's something we never expect to see. And I would imagine Chris Pratt doing a great job as Garfield. I mean, he did a great job as Mario, okay? So no complaints, everybody who is ever watching out there.
Mario did decent as Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'll give him that. Not one of the best performances in the movie, but he did decent.
I said Chris Pratt is not bad of a voice actor. Why are you all blaming him as Mario? You can't do anything to Charles. Charles can't do it, okay? He retired as Mario's voice, okay?
I think the bigger problem comes with the fact of how Chris Pratt is somehow getting cast in big name movies nowadays, and I think it all comes down to they focus more on how big of a Hollywood name he is rather than how really talented he is as a voice actor.
No, I understand that too. But the thing is, like, look, it's Hollywood. They're going to bring up other big stars. I mean, like I said, they did a really good job. Look at, like, Princess Peach, Toad, everybody, those other voice actors. Jack Black did a great job as Bowser too.
Best one. It was the best performance of the movie.
I'm very sorry, but he's not Oscar worthy for that best song.
Don't remind me.
Peaches.
I mean, not okay. One.
No, every Barbie song is better than the Super Mario Brothers movie songs. Okay.
No, see, one argument that I can somewhat understand is that Peaches is too short. I will agree that the length of Peaches was too short, but other than that, though, Peaches was definitely worthy of a award and being nominated for an award, and I am still salty to this day that it hasn't been nominated.
Not nominated even for a Golden Globe either. So, if anything, I told you Barbie movie was it was way far superior than the Mario movie, but we complained about that like last year. So
at least the Mario movie did get nominated for at least one category. We're going to touch upon that later.
Yes,
but
yes.
However, I want to get back to the Garfield movie. Now, the Garfield movie has Garfield's dad being voiced by none other than Samuel L. Brother Effin Jackson.
So we're pretty much having Avengers via Garfield universe.
Yeah, so pretty much we're watching a movie in which Nick Fury is Peter Quill's father.
Yeah, I guess that's how it is. Oh man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Garfield movie is going to be exciting. Other movies that are coming out, Despicable Me 4. Despicable Me 4 is going to happen. So we're having another sequel about that. And to be fair, I mean, I kind of like the Despicable Me movies. I mean, the Minions: Rise of Gru was actually awesome to see because it tells you like how Gru became a villain and saw the minions and stuff.
Hence the title Rise of Gru.
No, exactly, and I liked it. And then now we're going to see. I don't know what the story is going to be for Despicable Me 4, but I guess we'll see how it goes. But again, it's Gru and the minions and the kids that they have now. Plus, he's married now, and he has a brother in the 3 movie. So,
what I'm predicting is that hopefully Despicable Me 4, it will take place in which Gru and his family have grown up. Like maybe have Gru's kids age up to becoming, teenagers, like aging from preteen to teenager, and then have the oldest one go to college. That'd be pretty interesting to see. And then have Gru be at an age where he's getting too old for this villainous stuff. He wants to retire being a full-on villain altogether.
So who would he give the reins of being a villain to? His wife?
I think it's more on the lines of Gru wants to teach his daughters how to be villains.
Oh, but then again, they're all nice and cute. I don't know if they want to be villains.
I think it's more along the lines of Gru teaching the kids that the real world's a dog town out there. You got to take what you could get. So you have to be villainous sometimes.
Okay,
I want to see him go that route.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's also a good way to go through it. But yeah, that movie's also coming out as well. One big movie that I can't wait to watch. We both know it. It's coming out on Netflix soon.
Casagrandes!
Yeah, that's right. The Casagrandes movie is coming out. That is right. Via Miguel Puga is coming out this year. Obviously, that's the one big thing we have to watch.
Yes. You know what? I will say this, that other than Inside Out 2, like Casagrandes movie is my second most anime movie out that year.
No, number one is probably going to be Casagrandes movie. We're going to get all hyped, and maybe Miguel Puga might be in our stream like we did last time.
Again. Make that happen again.
I would love it if he ever comes back on the stream. Oh my God, that'll be epic again.
But yeah, we talked in great detail about the Casagrandes movie tease in an earlier episode.
Now we have to wait for the trailer now to watch it. So
yes, all we were asking is for a full-on fledged trailer. And number one, number two, have Fleekin get at least a 10-second cameo like how Rania did in the Loud House movie.
Yeah, if anything, Lincoln should be in the movie. We don't know what's going to happen next, but we made a prediction earlier about it. We'll put that up on YouTube via clips eventually. But yeah, Casagrandes movie, you can't wait for that either. But
yes,
2024 looks to be exciting. I can't wait for it. It's already starting to be exciting considering like I had a great birthday, I had a great New Year's, and things are looking up for me at the moment. So like 2024 looks great overall right now in the world of animation and life right now. So yeah,
definitely get hyped, Casa Crew, get hyped.
Let's head over to our next subject here and actually talk about the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. The final episodes of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee are here, and as predicted, those final 2 episodes, Jinx versus the Human World and the end, were literally the end.
Yep. So the title was not a lie. They didn't pull an Amazing World of Gumball where it was a lot of episodes to come after an episode titled The End. No, this is really the end, period. Not question mark, period.
Yeah, so the first episode that came out was Jinx versus the Human World. This is the episode where Jinx somehow got the robes of Jinx got the Scratch's robes, and it started to pretty much rule over the whole ghost world, and eventually the human world. So the episode begins with Scratch painting ghost charts and stuff like that. But meanwhile, back at the ghost world, you get to see his henchmen doing like some sort of things here and there. Just explain to yourself what the first scenes kind of felt like, because it feels like Scratch was just a very lazy kind of ghost, but she always is.
Well, yeah, it's really no surprise that Scratch would pretty much procrastinate his duties, spend time goofing around with Molly Mcgee, drawing sharks, like ghost sharks. Let me just see this. Baby shark.
No, please don't put that song up.
So I'm getting Baby Shark vibes from this, because look at this. That shark is adorable. It's like if it's like if Baby Shark became a ghost and was going around Haunted Mansion. Like, it felt like, haunted Baby Shark, but I digress. So, of course, you see Scratch, painting and all that stuff, having fun with Molly McGee. Meanwhile, in the Phantom world, of course, the Ghost Council pretty much asked questions from, what they think is Scratch, but it really isn't. It's actually a dummy in a robe.
No, I just like the fact that it's just a metronome like balloon just going up and down and things like that.
Yeah, it's just like thumbs up, thumbs down, and I'm kind of baffled at how the Ghost Council falls for this.
Here's the thing, like maybe he's just hiding in the shadows. He's just perfect. That's whatever. But the thing is, there's an issue when it comes to it. I mean, you left the robes literally there in the ghost world. That anybody who can actually go away from that ruse can be able to, see from that and take the robes.
Exactly. Did Scratch not think...
This is what Jinx did.
Did Scratch not think this through? Did Scratch not think this through?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
This is what Jinx did, yes. And she turned out to become the freaking...
Yeah.
She turned out to become the chairman now.
As much as I adore Jinx, it's kind of on Scratch for making his robe an easy target.
Yeah, so when you saw Jinx now taking over the ghost world and actually putting every ghost into misery, you kind of expect that to happen, right?
Yeah, you kind of expect that to happen. You would expect Jinx to make some sort of big comeback in some way, shape, or form, because they do build upon that. Throughout the series, Jinx has been known to be this devious, troublemaking ghost, and the more the series progresses, the more evil and antagonistic towards Scratch that she becomes. And of course, Jinx vs. the World is pretty much evil Jinx, like, at its highest.
Well, then again, Jinx now has control of the robes. I mean, Jinx was supposed to be the antagonist of the entire show, or of Scratch, just because she is a rival to Scratch. Plus, like, Scratch took down the chairman, and obviously she didn't like that, and she thinks that Scratch was a bad chairman also.
I mean, she's not wrong. When you really do think about, the first scenes, you gotta admit, she's not completely wrong about that.
No, exactly. So I'm just saying out there, like, yeah, you know what, Scratch, this is your fault also. So this is your fault for doing that. Which means that, okay, so the ghosts are going to be miserable. Did all ghosts end up being miserable? Actually turned out not to be the case, because, they're out to be miserable. That actually turned out to be the case, considering that the Jeffs actually did escape and had to go back to Scratch just to see if they can do something to, get Jinx out of reigns, to say.
Yeah, and I do love the fact of how Jeff with the J, I'm gonna call it Muscle Jeff or something. I don't want to confuse the two, so let's just say
Jeff with a J and Jeff with the G was the one that's Scratch's best friend.
I like the fact that how Jeff with the J, I like the fact that how Jeff with the J pretty much calls out Scratch on this too. Like, he even points out to Scratch, like, this is your fault and all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, he's been waiting to say that for a long time. He's been waiting to roast the hell out of Scratch, because let's be honest here. Here's a little headcanon. You don't have to take my word for it. I think Jeff with the J has always secretly not been a fan of his. Because let's be honest here, with the way that Scratch has been taking advantage of Jeff with the G and all this stuff like that, honestly, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to see like how Jeff with the J, while being civil to Scratch, isn't particularly very fond of him.
No, he's not. And the other thing, too, is that I think Jeff with a J he doesn't hate Scratch, but he obviously would be authoritative just because it's like, yo, our world is crumbling because of you. Yeah. So, it's your fault and stuff.
I'm not saying he despises Scratch.
No.
I'm just saying that, Jeff with a J doesn't exactly think highly of Scratch nearly as much as Jeff with a G thinks.
Because Jeff with a G is undoubtedly, like, loving Scratch for some reason. They had a duet song together. They did a lot of stuff together. And I'm like, yeah, this is a ship, isn't it?
And even in this situation, Jeff with the G doesn't even scold Scratch the way Jeff with the J does. Like, Jeff with the G still tries to defend himself.
Because Jeff with the G just wants to defend a Scratch at all moments. I'm like, okay, I get it. He's your best friend, but he needs to get punished eventually, You can't just, like, give him all the slack and everything.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I know you love your best friend, Scratch. I know you're loyal to him, but let's be honest, there is sort of a line to be drawn.
Exactly, yeah. Obviously the Jeffs are having an issue and a problem and stuff like that. They need to obviously save the ghosts that are currently in despair in the ghost world. Luckily, Molly and Scratch, quote unquote Scratch, have a plan, and it involves the ghost friends. And FYI, look who's in the ghost friends now.
Yeah! Oh my god, yes! My girl June is in the Ghost Friends! Oh my god, my precious baby girl's in it! Oh god, yes, I am so happy to see this. Like, honestly, the last 2 episodes, what I love about the last 2 episodes, well, okay, I'm not a fan of this episode, but I'm a huge fan of the next one. But I will give the episode this. Like, this episode gives my girl June a time to shine. Like, let's be honest, like, the last 2 episodes have used June very effectively. And yeah, yes, I'm gonna say it right now, June Chen is my favorite character. I stand her. I'm so proud of her for being part of the Ghost Friend Group. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so now she's part of the Ghost Friends. Even Daryl, too, by the way. I think Daryl just absolutely joined because when you saw the Ghost Friends before, it was just mostly Molly, Scratch, Libby, and, Ollie. That's it. You don't see Daryl or June at all. Now the younger siblings are actually being a part of it. So it's like, yay, Ghost Friends.
The younger siblings want to get on
Ghost Friends. There you go.
Yes.
And FYI, they're Wraith form, by the way. So that was pretty cute.
Look, and they all look colorful. Like, they all look really colorful, too. I love it. By the way, unfortunately, there was one particular character who got robbed of this opportunity, but we're going to touch upon that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, by the way. Yeah, so either way, this is the Ghost Friends group. Hey, amazing, awesome people, woohoo. But now, oh god, literally 1 minute later, she just captured. This was the worst. This apparently was the worst plan ever.
And then the way she gets captured was way too quick too. Where she pretty much when she enters the ghost world, she sees a cute cat and she's like, "Oh, it's so cute." But then the Scratch turns out to be Jinx, and then boom.
Yeah, she ends up having this goblin thing. So. Again, fast pacing was one thing, but how crazy was that? Because it, like, literally just after a minute of seeing, like, the Ghost Friends literally being there in the ghost world, they immediately go back to the human world because Jinx was about to attack the human world. How disappointing are you? You only saw the rates just 1 minute.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, how I would have done this was I would have had Jinx versus the world be a legit TV movie. I feel like, like this sort of plot line could work if it was stretched out just a bit.
Yeah, exactly. And like if they could have at least made it like 1 hour special would be great, but 30 minutes long feels very short. Like you get to see Jinx, he's about to control the whole world. First off, Molly is captured. She's not going back to the human world. And then she'll do whatever it takes to get her to not get the joy sucked out of her. It's that she even goes to like super sad mode.
I think what could have worked was that have Molly and her friends explore around the ghost world even more, because let's be honest, the ghost world is much more than what it seems. The ghost world is actually a pretty fun universe to explore around.
Right. Wait. You talk about the ghost world?
I'm talking about that particular ghost.
Yeah,
the ghost world.
Exactly. And plus we only saw like Molly as a wraith during the final episode, finale episode of season 1. Now in season 2, you're thinking like maybe we can get to see more impactful moments of them being wraiths, but that wasn't the case here. The rest of everybody went back to the human world, and we get to see Daryl. What was it? Apparently escaping. I don't know what. It looks like he's running away.
He's up to something.
Yeah, he's definitely up to something. And FYI, I do like to put this one particular scene out here. I know all you're gonna say in this particular scene right now, but yeah.
Oh, my poor baby girl June. Oh, she's so sad. Oh.
No, June was like literally in tears, and she was like literally like puddling up, it's like we're doomed or something like that. And you get to see like the Jeffs like comforting June, and I'm like, okay, I can't.
Oh, my poor baby girl.
I really need to point that out because yeah, June needs all the love she can.
Yes, she needs all the love and attention. Yes, she does.
Yes. So yes, besides that, another big scene that also happened too was the fact that like Ollie and June obviously needed to make sure that his parents, that their parents are convinced that ghosts are real, that ghosts are fine. But it also leads to a story where Ollie's dad actually knows a ghost that they know. So what was the whole? How did you feel about that whole twist about Ollie's dad knowing Jeff?
You know, I actually thought that was quite a twist. I think that's what makes it work, is that you got two different characters from the same show who you never expected to have some kind of connection or relationship in some way, shape, or form, whether it be for better or for worse. Like, have Jeff, with a J of all things, be what makes Ollie's dad hate ghosts in the first place. Like, I never would have imagined it, but they somehow managed it to make it invented. They actually managed to somehow make it work because it's the last thing you'd expect. So, you know, like here's the thing. Hate Jinx versus the world all you want, okay? Like, it's not the best episode, but you gotta agree, that was quite inventive.
Indeed, and my thing here is like, oh, it's because of Jeff that Ollie's dad ended up actually hating ghosts. But then, how did you like the whole like? It was a whole misunderstanding. Oh, he hates dust. It's the reason why he sneezed and he started to freak out. That kind of thing.
I like the fact of how they managed to keep Jeff with a J. Like he manages to, like, even when he is the catalyst of Ollie Chen's dad's hatred of ghosts. During that time, he still has that, innocent, sweet personality to him, where he didn't mean to scare the boy, but it was just rather so like the dust that made him sneeze in the first place, which scared, Mr. Chen. So that's what I mean. Like, I think that's where that's where the writing is. Like I said before, they really do handle the writing of the origins of Mr. Chen's dad's fear of ghosts very well. Is that it comes from an unexpected catalyst, an unexpected source, and they keep that unexpected catalyst in character.
Indeed, yeah. And if anything, at least it just gives us a point of telling us, like, oh, yes, what was it? Ollie's dad definitely hates, ghosts because of this particular reason. It could be, I'm not gonna lie, it could be like some weird reason that he ends up hating ghosts, but bro, because just because of a misunderstanding doesn't make sense why you would have to hate ghosts.
I know, and also, I also want to touch upon the fact that those controls look like Super Nintendo controllers.
This is back in the 90s, so it makes sense why he ends up
That is true.
Yeah,
it's just the controls I want to point out because they really do look nice, and Super Nintendo flashback. But let's move on.
Yeah, but either way, looks like the Chants are actually going to help Scratch out when it comes to saving the human world from Jinx. Now back in the Ghost world, unfortunately, Jinx is about to get those sob goblins all pumped up because of Molly's joy that they're ready to go into the human world. But this also, they were about to go into the human world. Apparently, the Chens were ready, and at the same time, you got defeated
by the sob goblins. The sob goblins, the more joy they suck, the stronger they become.
No, exactly, and then that's the reason why, when we went back here for a second, even when Molly is trying to struggle to not be happy at all, Jinx was doing whatever it takes to get sure that joy comes out, and yes, the joy definitely came out, which definitely made Molly quite sad in the end.
Yeah, and let me just say this. Cute cat videos are quite a strong kryptonite to use against Molly because, who wouldn't smile at the sight of cute cat videos? Come on.
That's true. All right, so again, Molly looks like she was defeated from the way I'm seeing the scene here. But when the Ghost Council came in and actually talked about how Scratch made their lives happy, this actually helped Molly become quite an enjoyable person. Actually, her powers ended up coming back, and she ends up actually getting all the ghosts happified again, and looks like she has a big army ready for him.
Yeah, all it took was wall-to-wall praise towards her forever friend Scratch to have her boost up with energy again, and for her to get prepared to go into battle with Jinx.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you like this whole scene here where, out of all places, Molly ends up getting all the joy from those ghosts, and in the end, ends up freeing the ghost world from misery?
Yeah, while some can agree that it was too fast-paced, I would argue that the fact of how, the Ghost Council complimenting Scratch, helping her resurrect her joy power. It is quite sweet when you consider the fact of how Molly has always believed in the things that they've been talking about Scratch for. She's always believed in all the compliments the Ghost Council's been giving to Scratch. So just her having to hear from the Ghost Council, who, keep in mind, they are not particular fans of Scratch in the slightest. They still, even when being the Phantom, they still have some sort of disdain for that ghost. So having Molly hear all the good things come out of the mouths of those unexpected ghosts that would talk about Scratch, that's quite a sweet scene.
So I really do love this part. This scene here is fine. Again, we're going to talk about this at the end when we review this episode, but quite a interesting solution that we end up getting for Molly to come back and becoming the joyous person in the ghost world.
Definitely. And yeah, like I said before, and that's the power of friendship, because Molly Mcgee has always been like, her power is the ultimate power of and amplifying, and that power of friendship. And this exemplifies the power of friendship that Molly has within her.
Exactly. So yeah, if anything, Molly and the ghosts are pretty much with her. They're all ready to pretty much face on Jinx, who's pretty much...
Also, Abraham Lincoln is there. Well, I see Abraham.
I know. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Jinx is about to rule over the whole human world with all the hobgoblins that are out there. That is until, yeah, it feels like this is going to be over, right? The humans are defeated. This doesn't look great for Libby, Molly, and everybody else who are pretty much trying to defeat Jinx. That is until Molly comes in to the rescue doing her whole, like, heroic pose. And in the meantime, she also did bring every ghost with her, too.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like the best way to describe the epic battle in Jinx versus the world is it's pretty much the climatic battle in Avengers Endgame on fast forward.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that epic battle? Because it was pretty much a musical number.
It was a musical number, and it was quite a Ghost and Molly Mcgee-ish way of doing a final battle. Because keep in mind, this isn't like, say, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, where of course it's going to be all action-packed because it's Marvel. Ghost and Molly Mcgee is known to be this lighthearted, comedic, musical sort of show. So it makes sense for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee's battle to be executed in that way.
So it ends up like seeing like how all these became friendship moments. So like you get to see, what was it? Scratch throw churros up in the air. You get to see, this particular scene, for example, where Jeff and Ollie's dad. Sorry, I forgot the name, but I just keep on saying Ollie's dad.
Mr. Chen. Just call him Mr. Chen.
Okay, fine, Mr. Chen. But nonetheless, this whole thing actually ends up actually defeating Jinx and the Hobgoblins. So yeah. Oh, and also this one moment, I forgot to put this on screen, but there's this one moment where, what was it? Sharon was actually saying,
coupons. Coupons over here. I mean, Pete.
What makes her happy again? Not your husband.
Seriously, like Pete even said, like the first thing that Pete says is Sharon, and then Sharon, the first thing she thinks about is coupons.
I know, and I'm like, wait, Sharon, what's up with you? Do you not care about your husband? She really cares about herself for some reason.
Like there are some moments where Sharon brings out her inner Daryl within her. Mm-hmm. Like you can see where Daryl gets it from.
Yeah, I just love the fact that Sharon ends up like saying all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, well, yeah. Quite interesting what she does, because it also does foreshadow into the next episode too, by the way. So
it really does, and we're gonna touch upon it later.
Yeah. So yeah, friendship rules over the world. Jinx is defeated, and all the humans were happy and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing too is that, first off, Jinx is still alive. Those hobgoblins could be dead, but Jinx is still alive. That is until a certain shark thing came up and actually defeat Jinx. So what's your thoughts on actually having, out of all people, the ghost shark defeating Jinx?
Let's just say this, that the ghost shark was the real hero of the episode. Like Ghost Jaws is what defeated.
It was kind of interesting too, because I was actually expecting, like, when June said this is the final boss battle, and you were thinking like maybe it's going to be Scratch versus Jinx. Instead, it was a ghost shark that ends up taking care of business.
Why couldn't they do that? Why couldn't they do an epic battle between Scratch versus Jinx? That's what the series has been building up to.
That's what kind of weirded me out. I'm like, a shark defeating Jinx, the villain? What? And plus, that shark doesn't even appear at all. She only appeared one episode. That was it.
That was a wasted opportunity, because keep in mind, like, the series has emphasized time and time that Scratch and Jinx are in fact enemies. And so in order for a rivalry to work effectively in the series, you have to have it come full circle. You have to make it fulfilled. Like, you have to have the writing of the rivalry be fulfilled, and the one way to fulfill a rivalry is, having a battle between Scratch and Jinx.
Right, exactly. And it would be great if they actually both battled, but instead, again, Jinx gets defeated by the ghost shark, but not fully defeated, because Jinx is out for revenge, and she was gonna go for was it Mr. Chen? I forgot. It's Ruben, by the way. His name is Ruben.
All right, thank you for correcting that.
Yeah. She actually goes for Ruben. He wants to obviously get that little, like, boo blaster that Ruben has. Obviously, the one thing to defeat Jinx is that little sucker thing that June has. But out of all people, Daryl comes up and actually gets that one thing that June needs. He ends up giving it to June. The canister works. Jinx gets defeated, and that's it. The whole world is saved.
The world is saved thanks to the ghost friends. So
yeah. What are your thoughts on seeing Jinx be defeated like this?
Yes, I will say this though. Once again, I gotta say, like, I'm proud of Ju Chen for this moment, because she ultimately ends up, slaying Jinx at the end by putting her in the Phantom Canister. But it's also thanks to her friend Daryl, who went out somewhere to get that particular thing that's needed to make the Phantom Canister work. And because that thing in the Phantom Canister works, it's effective again. And then, of course, this makes Jinx get sucked in the canister, pretty much like a genie in a lamp. Mm-hmm. It's like this. Like, think about the scene where Genie Jafar gets sucked into the lamp at the end. This is pretty much what it feels like.
It kind of does, yeah. And I kind of really do love the fact that, like, it's not Scratch who defeats him, but again, it's June's family. Yeah. It's the Chens who actually defeat him. So it's actually pretty cute. Plus the fact that June ends up becoming the hero, which is pretty neat. And also the correlation between Daryl and June. I mean, come on. They were partners when they were working together making that green monster. And they're working together to defeat Jinx. I'm sorry, but Daryl and June are quite a thing, too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they were even parents. They were parents of that flubber.
I forgot. There was that one moment where, like, June and Ollie's mom were saying, like, grandkids. I'm like, Molly's still alive. Yes.
Grandkids.
Yeah, yes. That was cute. That was cute, too. And I'm like, yeah, good. Ollie, you have to learn about grandkids. Molly and Ollie, yay. All the fans there.
Yeah, that moment where they became canon, it was definitely all the Molly's time to celebrate.
Yes, exactly. So nonetheless, I mean, the whole humans got defeated, but there was also one thing that I also did want to point out before we talk about our review. Scratch actually does let go of being the chairman and actually have the robes. Let go of being chairman. And he actually let the robes find a ghost that's actually more suitable for him. What's your thoughts on this significant moment here?
I really do like this particular moment, because this is where Scratch, because throughout the episode before this moment, you have Scratch saying, trying to avoid taking blame and responsibility for it, saying, oh, it's not really my fault, this happened, not because of me, blah, blah, blah. Here is where we see the humility come out of Scratch, like the humbleness come out of Scratch. I'd finally admit that, this whole thing was caused by him being irresponsible as a chairman. And he knows he's not fit to be a chairman. So what does he do? He resigns. He gives up on the job because he wasn't fit to be a chairman to begin with. So I really do like that send-off that Scratch gives to the robe. But the only problem is that we don't exactly see who becomes the next chairman.
Because in the end, the robe continues to fly. And the last thing that we get to see from this is a party. Like, oh my god, Ruben loves ghosts now. And everybody loves... Human and ghosts are interacting with each other. That was
Daryl and June. Look at Daryl and June.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Okay, we are really going to go over the Daryl-June ship now, are we? I'm not gonna lie, it is cute though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, with Molly, they could have a Daryl-June moment. So, I'm sorry, I'm just putting it out there. Yes. But yes, no doubt it was a good, satisfying finale. No doubt this feels like a season finale for season 2. So
it really does. Like, for all the problems Jinx versus the world has, there are some moments where it really does shine, such as the Phantom Canister moment, and then you have Scratch giving up the chairman position and all that kind of stuff.
Again, when we go to review about Jinx versus the Ghost World, I'm gonna say way too fast. Absolutely way too fast. I was kind of like, what the hell was that episode all about? I feel like if it was for a season finale, it would be great if it actually was like a little bit longer, but I feel like they wanted to at least try to get everything that was like talked about in the Ghost and Molly Mcgee in the episode, and they did their part, but at the same time, I couldn't really catch up with what was going on. Like, you get to see Jinx get defeated. That's one thing. You get to see all the ghosts that were referenced in the Ghost and Molly Mcgee in this one particular episode, because you can see like what Abraham Lincoln, the Ice Princess Queen, was a ghost, the Ghost Shark, for example, like all those ghosts being referenced. Again, very quick. And you were thinking that, you see the ghost friends like literally be wraiths and literally go into Ghost World and think about them actually rescuing, like saving the whole Ghost World together. But no, instead we end up just seeing, Molly get captured, and then the rest of the ghost friends pretty much going back to the human world literally after like 1 minute of just showtime. And I'm like, You could have at least given us more time for that. Instead, you just yeeted them back into the human world.
See, that's the thing. I feel like it would have been much more effective had they extended it to an hour, because you got all this time within an hour to do more with this episode, like expand upon the ghost world and have Molly and her friends in ghost form interact with the ghost world more, because I feel like that's what was missing. Like, have Ghost Molly and her friends like explore around the ghost world and meet some of the ghosts that have taken place in past Ghost and Molly Mcgee episodes. Like, I feel like they missed an opportunity for that.
Exactly. And again, I just feel like whenever I was watching this episode, I just felt like I missed out on something. I totally didn't get everything that was in that freaking episode. I did see the fact that like Jinx ends up being defeated and we're not going to see her for quite a while, but again, way too fast. It just feels like, I know that you're trying to cram everything into one. We already see Ruben's like why he was afraid of ghosts and why he now loves ghosts, you know, all that. I feel like it was a mess. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it could be like a great finale, but I just felt it was just absolutely a mess. I just feel like I couldn't be able to understand everything all in that 1 minute, all of that whole 30 minutes.
Again, this episode is pretty much like I said before, Avengers Endgame. If you press fast forward, like if you like pretty much skim through Avengers Endgame, especially the Commander battle, this is pretty much what you get with Jinx versus the world.
Yeah, and again, I have to say, really a disappointing way to like end an episode like that. But if anything, it just kind of, so the way I kind of see it, like, if I'm looking at the positives of how this episode is going to be, if anything, the ghosts are there to at least give like one final show to obviously see like who they are, like the Jeffs, for example. Again, many of the other ghosts that we saw in the Ghost and Molly Mcgee from season 1 were also made an appearance too. And then of course, again, most of those things being answered, which is great. But again, maybe if you actually stayed a little bit longer, maybe another 45-minute, an hour episode, maybe we could have gotten more of a better satisfying ending or a conclusion, because this definitely does feel like a season 2 finale. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I will say this though. Like, the way I look at Jinx versus the world is that it could have been much more. But then again, when you consider the fact of how this episode is taking place the same day as the next episode we're talking about later on, you could look at Jinx versus the world and say, okay, that was an appetizer, and now for the main course, which is the end. Yeah,
but to sum it up overall, when it comes to that episode, yeah, not worth it. Very sorry, Jinx versus the human world, but I found it disappointing.
You could have been Jinx versus the world, like, could have been much greater. Like I said, had they extended it to an hour, like go from 30 minutes to an hour, like pretty much. I want to see like a extended cut of the episode.
Yeah,
because let me tell you, the extended cut would have kicked so much ass.
Yeah, Bill and Bob, I think you know what to do. Give us like the Bill and Bob cut, like Snyder cut.
Release a Bill and Bob cut. Let's go. We're doing a campaign. Ghost and Molly Mcgee fans. Release a Bill and Bob cut.
Oh God, Ghost and Molly Mcgee fans are gonna be well.
And also give us more Andrea scenes. Give us Andrea scenes.
Oh my God, Andrea didn't even appear in this episode. What the hell?
Okay. 2 words I'm gonna say: missed opportunity. But you're gonna hear about us talk about it in the next episode.
Yes. So let's actually go to the finale of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. It's called The End, and it is literally the end. So when you heard that it was going to be the final episode of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, what were your thoughts when you heard that?
It's so bittersweet. It's so bittersweet because I am going to miss this this series, and I feel like with the end, I am waiting to see if this episode will lead to a satisfying conclusion. Like, I know that, Ghost of Molly Mcgee season 2, I gotta say, it has been sorely lagging in comparison to season 1. And so I was hoping that they would at least capture the ending in a more magical and more powerful way, like end it on a powerful note. And spoiler alert, it did.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking more about the end right now. So let's actually talk about it. So yeah, the end, it all starts, well, here's the thing. It doesn't actually start with a title card. It literally just starts with the Ghost and Molly Mcgee title. So you don't hear the theme song, you don't hear the title, you don't even see the title card talking about who wrote the episode, who created the episode, et cetera, et cetera. So it tells you like, oh God, this is a big change.
Yeah. I think the reason why I like this change is because they're trying to get you ready for the moment. they're trying to get you ready for when the moment comes in which you will tear up. And I think that they feel like having the opening credits and the title card is going to take away from what is about to come in this episode. So I will give them credit for that. Like, I really do like how they handle it in that way.
So yeah, the Ghost of Molly Mcgee starts off with actually having the mayor. We never heard Patton Oswalt in a while, by the way, but
Yes.
he starts off with giving Molly a turnip. A turnip. And that whole trophy turnip was pretty cute. Okay, cool. All of them work together, and yeah, it's all ends up really great for the Ghost Friends. How do you feel about Molly ended up winning this award?
Friendship hug! Oh, and also, on a serious note, though, Molly deserved that award. Let's be fair here, because Molly and the Brightons have been doing their very best to help the town in every way they can, especially Molly, who throughout many episodes before this has shown to have done so much for Brighton. So, like, for example, she brought snow to Brighton, and she has also helped save the businesses of Brighton from being obsolete from Andrea from
Davenport's. Don't say Andrea. No,
not Andrea, but from the Davenport's Amazon-like business, from taking over many small businesses.
So to say the least, she did a lot of things to at least help Brighton. Because when we first remember Brighton in the first episode of the Ghost Molly Mcgee, it's a very depressing town, and we needed a person like Molly to happify the town. And look at Brighton now. We just see a lot of amazing faces, amazing people, and they're all happy because of Molly. You know, they made Molly and pretty much her family just made everything brighter over at Brighton.
So yeah, she definitely earned this, and I got to say congratulations to Molly Mcgee for winning this beautiful bronze turnip. She deserves it and happifying.
Yeah,
Brighton.
and no doubt she needs that friendship hug for sure.
Yes.
Now, the next scene here we want to talk more about, because it was pretty much Scratch. What was it? Scratch going for funnel cakes, and you get to see him pretty much dance around other people to eat funnel cakes, like to pretty much show Jeff how to eat funnel cakes, etc. There is one particular thing that I also do want to bring up, because you only get to see her for only 1 nanosecond. I am literally saying this right. 1 nanosecond. That's Andrea.
Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?
Like that's it. That's it. The only time you're gonna see her. And these last 2 episodes were that. And I am very, very disappointed, because I was riding on the Andrea train, considering that she actually was going to be like a Pacifico Northwest, Sasha Waybright, any of those like meanies that turn out to become like an amazing person in the end. But after the fact that she ends up actually like cutting off all of social media, nothing else happened from her. And again, just background appearances here and there. We get to see her Necro Comic Con. We get to see her in like some sort of winter thing during Molly's like dilemma of New Year's. And then this particular scene, I'm like, dude, we wasted Andrea's potential, and you literally just put her in that one particular scene for 1 nanosecond. I swear.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, Andrea got robbed. Like, you know, like Andrea got robbed to the point where you had so much build-up. You had so much development given to Andrea Davenport's character. And then in the last half of season 2, you pretty much have her devolve into a background character, and I'm just like, she deserved so much better than that.
No, exactly. So it's weird, because like you don't get to see her. Like, you literally, if you like blink like for 1 second, you will not see her at all. So like during that whole particular scene, you'll just have to like look for like a little blur of light blue, and you'll know that's Andrea.
Seriously. That is a shame. How dare you do that to Andrea?
No, exactly. And I feel so bad. I'm like, Andrea, oh my God. You had such great potential, and this is what they did to you. I'm sorry, Bill and Bob, but you ruined Andrea.
It's like, you remember that whole episode where Andrea has this dilemma in which she says, oh, without social media, I'm nothing. Apparently she was right. Apparently her fears were confirmed to be true, because like ever since she cut off social media, she's been devolved into nothing.
Yeah, that's ironic from actually the creators to do that. So
it really is.
Again, I feel bad for Andrea, and I really, well, then again, it's the end, so we can't say much about Andrea. That's it from her.
And plus, it's really insulting when you consider the fact of how, you know, she's the reason why why the McGees continue to live in Brighton, like after season one in the first place.
Right. See,
she's the reason why the McGees still continue to live in Brighton.
If anything, there was again so many friendship moments with Andrea and Molly. Why can't she actually become a ghost friend? But no, they didn't put her as a ghost friend.
Like seriously, like Andrea busts her ass in order to spread the word to help the McGees buy the house back, like for the McGees, and this is how she gets repaid.
No, exactly. So again, a wasted potential for Andrea throughout the entire rest of the show ever since that dilemma episode. But come on, man. I mean, I feel bad for all the fans. There's a lot of Andrea fans out there.
Yeah, honestly, my respect and my heart goes out to all the Fandrias out there. You know, to all the Fandrias out there, I feel your pain.
Yeah, it just really feels bad. Okay, anyways, sorry, Andrea, we have to move on to your something next. Anyways, again, like we said before, Scratch and Jeff were trying to eat funnel cake, so we get to see Scratch try to pretty much possess people eating funnel cake. So he possesses this guy, he possesses this girl,
one by one.
This guy, and oh, wait a minute, this guy is something quite odd because somehow it actually leads up to Scratch having these memories of Ada. When you saw this, what were your first thoughts?
I was thinking to myself, it was about time that they, you know, that they go back to Scratch's origins, like, because we have seen in a couple of episodes, especially the soda one, in which Scratch remembers his friend Ada. Mm-hmm. And we've seen flashbacks of it here and there, and I've been waiting for the series to touch upon that. I've been waiting for the series to expand upon that particular character arc of Scratch.
I think we've all been waiting for that moment because, like, ever since that strawberry soda episode, nothing came out of Scratch and Ada, and we're like, where's the next potential Scratch? I mean, that death episode. Remember the the death birthday episode that they were doing as well? I thought they were gonna have something to actually show how Scratch died, but they never actually showed anything, and it was like that was wasted potential. Maybe that could have been a great time to actually know what happened.
They don't do anything with it. That was the disappointing part about the death episode.
When you look back at that, it was like, oh, it makes sense now because he didn't really die.
Yeah, it does make that episode make somewhat much more sense when you consider the fact of how Scratch didn't really die, so Death Day doesn't make any sense for him. But still, though, it doesn't change the fact of how at the end of the day they did sort of waste potential on the Death Day episode.
Yeah. So when I saw this, first off, you fans are freaking right.
Yeah,
I can't believe all of you were right, and I'm like, God damn it, no.
I gotta give the fandom this. Like, they were actually spot on with that prediction because it actually was true. They actually managed to put two and two together, and they think to themselves, yeah, this is Scratch's human form, and wouldn't you know it, like, let's be honest, like that was instantly put on their bingo card.
Yeah,
and the bingo card's been filled.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, oh my God, they were all correct, and I'm like, God damn it. No, because like I was thinking like maybe Bill and Bob might have another idea of them actually, making things better, or make things a little bit predictable when it comes to like Scratch and Scratch's like backstory and stuff. But no, he followed along with the fans, and yeah, it turned out like that. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah. In terms of this particular episode, which is the series finale, like I said before, I do applaud this episode for finally continuing Scratch's character arc, that particular story arc. But I just wish that they had touched upon it in earlier episodes every now and then. Whereas they only touched, like before this episode, they touched upon it once or twice.
Exactly, yeah. So nonetheless, I mean, now we get to see that this person has some sort of link with Scratch.
Yeah.
And of course, Scratch gets all these like memories here and there. So we get to see like, Scratch get to freak out and stuff like that. And he was thinking that it was pretty much funnel cakes that is actually helping him with his memories. But turns out they're quite sus about that, actually. I actually do like this look, by the way, with Ollie and Libby literally saying, Does funnel cakes work like that?
Libby and I love the look in Libby's face, especially. She's like, Scratch, you seem kind of sus. I can't do a Libby. I'm not Laura Jill Miller, okay?
Yeah, Laura J. Miller, I miss her too. Okay, we get her. She'll still be Lisa, so, but her as Libby was precious. She's my favorite character.
And she's holding her she's holding her precious turtle. I'm just like, yeah, like Libby is my second favorite character because of moments like this.
Yeah, so they still obviously were quite sus about what's going on with Scratch and Molly. But it turns out, looks like with all the freaking funnel cakes they ended up buying, it turns out that Scratch's life was actually pretty awesome with all the things that him and Ada were doing. But this also leads to like one quick question. How did Scratch die, actually?
Okay, first, I like to say one thing. I like the fact of how like Pete doesn't want to say the D word, like die, so Sharon has to say it for him. How did she die? And then Pete's like, "Thank you, honey."
How about like the whole musical number too? Because it just tells you like apparently Scratch and Ada went through all these adventures. Look, he had an awesome life. But yeah, there is that whole clue about like how did he die, because nobody actually knows about that.
Yeah, it sort of leaves us guessing as well. We were waiting to get that answer, especially on the Death Day episode, but we never got it. I'm just like, now that this is a series finale, I'm just so glad that all the questions are being answered in this episode.
Right. So, yeah, again, the musical number pretty much just explains Scratch's life. Obviously, we have one big question that has to be answered was, how did Scratch die? Well, the one way to actually find out how Scratch died is to actually talk to her best friend, Ada, which apparently she's still alive, and she's still doing a lot of adventure stuff here and there.
Yeah, she's alive in a lot of ways.
So how do you like about Ada actually still being alive? She's still making all these videos and things like that. I'm guessing she's like a very amazing like social media star just because of all the adventures she went through.
Oh, yeah. I like how they touched upon Ada's character, having her be more than just this background flashback character. They actually, like, just by the scenes with Ada alone, she manages to be a memorable character in her own sense, despite the limited amount of screen time she has. Like, she's adventurous, she's wild, she goes to many different places. Like, she's the go-to gal. She's a go-to gal.
Yeah, and I really feel great for Ada. Now, obviously, Ada's alive. She's still doing her adventurous stuff, so maybe she's the real source of how we can get that answer, how we can get that question answered, how Scratch died. So, what was it? Molly ended up calling Ada. Ada looks like she's on a fishing trip, and it looks like it's very stormy out there. But again, some connection issues popped up here and there that there really was no answer. But what Ada actually said in the end was the fact that Scratch never died. So what were your thoughts hearing that particular fact?
I thought that was a particular twist. That was a particular plot twist when it came to Ghost and Molly Mcgee, and it came to a twist when it comes to Scratch himself, because we always thought that he died. We always thought that he was dead until this very moment. But no, it actually turns out that he actually turned into a ghost in a different way.
No, yeah, and we're going to explain that later. But yes, I mean, I think the fact of the matter is, like, we were thinking that Scratch is a ghost, that he's particularly dead. But no, that actually did not turn out to be the case, considering that Ada literally said he's not dead. And I'm like, what? So, shocker, for one thing.
Plot
and
twist.
obviously, like, Scratch is kind of saying, like, wait, I'm a ghost. I'm supposed to be dead. And Molly's thinking the same thing.
We're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That is until we get to see Libby pretty much being all investigator again and literally put out the fact that Scratch actually isn't a ghost.
The Blonde Hound is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Blonde Hound is back.
We were assuming that Scratch was dead, considering that he was a ghost and all. But with a lot of further retaliation, you were thinking, what was it? You were already noting that Libby and Ollie already was quite sus about, well, thinking that Scratch is not dead, this is not how ghosts work, this is not how they get their memories, etc. So they end up going to other sources to at least get some facts out, and they go to June, for example, to get those facts out.
Yes, yes. My number one favorite character doing the work.
Also, it's quite scary that June knows how to hack a camera, so she literally hacked into all of that. All of the whole entire affair. I'm like, okay, maybe don't mess with June.
Yeah, that's the thing about autistic people. Autistic people do tend to be this intelligent. Like they pretty much, their brains function differently from neurotypical people, but neurodivergent people, like they pretty much their brains do work this way. They do tend to be like, you know, that particular level of genius.
Yes. So we get to see pretty much the whole scenes where Scratch ends up eating all those funnel cakes, and we also do get to see that particular scene here where we get to see Scratch end up possessing this one particular guy. Apparently his name is Todd. This guy looks like he's depressed. When he possessed him, he ends up actually, well, quite confused, because usually when you actually possess a person, you end up just doing whatever you want with that person. But in this particular one, he ends up pretty much being all confused, like what the heck happened, and that kind of thing.
You could tell by the confused look at Scratch's face. It's like, what did I just see?
Yeah. So Libby and Ollie pretty much said, "This guy is you," and it did take a while for Molly to actually even realize the fact that, oh god, he has no soul. He literally is just like one of those like possessed zombies that ends up happening when you become a wraith, to say. Yeah. So it was quite a twist to say. Well, were you one of those fans that actually believed that too? That he was that guy was Scratch?
I actually, when you take a good look at his character design, when you look at how he looks, because let's be honest, when you look at this guy, he definitely looks like a human Scratch, from the nose to the mouth to like the facial figure. Like this literally does look like a human version of Scratch. So when I saw this, like when I saw that this was actually Scratch's human body, I would actually believe it.
Okay, so I really just never leaned on with the fans. I never leaned on with what they were gonna say, and I was like, I don't think you guys are speaking the truth here. But instead, oh my god, when they actually revealed this, I was like, god damn it, I was wrong. And more like, I kind of didn't want to follow the fans. I was like, I want to lead my own path. I want to see how Bill and Bob was going to decipher this up. And instead, they were actually right. And I'm like, god damn it, no.
Sing the Nate Wrong song. I'm Nate and I was wrong. I'm singing the Nate Wrong song.
Yeah, sure, why not? You can go that way. But yes, I was obviously it was kind of surprised, but at the same time I'm like got disappointed. I was thinking about a new twist that could happen in the Ghost and Molly Mcgee and how Scratch actually had a real person and died, but no, we ended up having that real theory correct. I'm like, god damn it.
Yeah, I always thought that Scratch was dead, but no, it actually turns out that there are more ways that you can become a ghost without having death involved.
Yeah, well, let's actually talk about this Todd guy, because this Todd guy led a depressing life. I'm not going to lie to you all. He literally had Ada with him, and the thing is that Ada was going on to so many adventures, and Todd, on the other hand, just literally stayed at home. He was just very scared to go out. He was literally just at home while Ada just gives him pictures. They were calling each other too. Again, scared at home. They're literally calling each other too. He's just stuck there, like literally
he's
eating
secluded.
Food. Yeah, secluded away, no friends, just by himself, just alone, drinking like strawberry soda. He had a ticket to go and visit Ada and things of that nature, and then never went. Even in this particular scene here, like, yeah, he's stuck at work while Ada goes out on adventure. Ada definitely is absolutely sad. The fact that her best friend cannot even go out with him.
Yeah, and Ada, if you look at Ada's face, you can see how heartbroken she is by it too. But she continues to move on and venture on. Whereas, like when you look at him, like when you look at this guy, he's pretty much stuck. He's pretty much stuck in his boring, depressed life.
I just feel so bad. I mean, I feel bad for Ada, because like Ada is just wanting to have Scratch come out, and he's done that for like, I would imagine years, many years probably, and Scratch just continues to just be by himself all alone. And I'm like, dude, this just feels bad for Ada, and I feel bad for her because like she'll have the best time in the world, while he ends up getting the worst time in the world.
I know, he can't even come out of his shell to go on an adventure with her. Seriously, I thought Libby was supposed to be the human turtle, not this guy.
Indeed. And like, I don't know, again, this story was just all sad. The fact that like he became a wraith because his soul pretty much left Todd, and this is how Scratch became, Scratch that we see now.
Yep, this is how Scratch became the Scratch that we know. And by the way, the reason why he's named Scratch in the first place is because he was nicknamed Scratch because he always scratches himself, so it makes sense.
There you go, yeah. Well, nonetheless, Scratch leaves Todd, Scratch is by himself. This is the reason why he's pretty much in that house where Molly Mcgee both moved in. So, yeah, this is the whole origin story of Scratch, and I'm not gonna lie, this was absolutely depressing.
I know, you just feel bad for the poor guy. You feel
so sad.
But then again, you kind of think to yourself, you did kind of bring this on yourself, If you just come out of your comfort zone, if you had gone out and, took risks, made a life for yourself, made some memories, you know, you would have had a worthwhile life and you wouldn't have devolved into a soul.
Indeed. And well, ever since then, he's just became a ghost for more than 20 years, it seems. Obviously, Molly, Libby, and Ollie were there to help him out. It is in this moment where Scratch actually runs away. The whole gang tries to find him. This particular scene, for example, by the way.
Oh God, I love this line delivery.
Oh my God, because you get to see like June and Ollie like search for ghosts there, and then I hate how Grandma Nin and like the other old lady.
Grandma Nin's like, come back next week.
I know. Oh my God. So we're expecting. Yes. So they want to die. Do they want to die? Oh
my God. I love the humor in this. Like the humor in this, when they get it right, they get it damn right. They get it sharp.
So they really want to die. Oh my God, what is happening here? Oh man, yeah. This particularly happened, and I'm like, okay, I guess you guys go. Oh, Grandma wants to die. Oh, and this particular scene here again, Sharon. You don't care for others. You care for yourself. What's wrong with you?
But then, like I said before, it's where Daryl gets it from. Like, the more you see Sharon in season 2, you think to yourself, there is more to her than meets the eye.
Yeah.
She has her rebellious
I gotta look back in, like, all the things that Sharon has done, but there is so many facts where, like, Sharon ends up, like, trying to be selfish and stuff. I remember that one time where, like, Molly became, was it very brave and stuff, that even Sharon said, hey, why don't you make me brave so I can actually become a rock star or something like that. She can be a rock star. So, yes, again, Sharon is just showing her true colors that she's pretty selfish.
Oh, and also that one episode about that mobile game.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to collect all these, like,
amiibo figures. She collects all those figures, and then it turns out to be a fad at the end. And then, like, yeah, she ends up being broke at the end.
And Daryl warned her, like, you may not want to go that route, but she did go that route.
Yeah, well, Daryl's a smarter person than Sharon. But now we actually have to go to this one particular scene here where we get to see Scratch in front of Todd's house, and Molly literally looks like it's about to quite see the final end to say. I'll just skim through this all right now. Molly's pretty much saying goodbye to Scratch. It's like, Scratch, it's better off for you to actually be with Todd, be back in your soul, be back in your body, live a happy life, etc. But the other thing too is that all the moments that happened with Molly and Scratch, obviously Molly cannot let that go.
Yeah, and the thing is, it comes at a price. Because once Scratch goes back to his human body, all his memories of him being a ghost are erased.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, like, I love the big sacrifice that Molly makes here. Because, despite it being... Because even though it is at the cost of Scratch forgetting Molly... she knows that it's what's best for Scratch because, well, he's a soul that needs to go on living his life. And this is where Molly's selflessness comes at its peak because she's making the sacrifice to sacrifice her ongoing friendship with Scratch for his betterment. Like, it's for the greater good of Scratch because he needs to live his human life the best way he can.
Right, and again, we get to see them hug just to sacrifice. Yeah. It's a big sacrifice. I know that Molly's pretty much losing a best friend. Scratch is obviously absolutely devastated as well. This was just an absolute scene where it's like, oh my God, this is going to be the end.
This both are.
Literally is the end, like the title says, where you get to see Scratch and Molly
the end,
separate.
Not question mark, the end, period.
The end, period, yeah. Molly is obviously saying goodbye to Scratch here. Scratch is about to ring the doorbell, and then there's this one particular scene where Scratch literally said, what is it? Dream team, you and me for all eternity.
They referenced the lyrics for the opening sequence. They referenced the lyrics for the opening credits. I love it.
That was a lie. They were not for all eternity instead.
Yes. It wasn't for all eternity. It was for all 2 seasons.
Yeah, so yeah, Scratch and Molly are gone. You'll get to see this one moment here where Molly gets to see Scratch possess Todd's body. And that was pretty much it. Scratch and Molly pretty much ends.
Yeah, there's no the Ghost and Molly Mcgee anymore. It's just Molly Mcgee.
So what are your thoughts on this final scene, getting to see Scratch and Molly in the end?
This is the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. I will say it's the best that it's been in a long time. Because this really does amplify, this enhances the deep friendship that Molly and Scratch have. Because let's be real here. Molly and Scratch have helped each other out. They've even made sacrifices for each other. But this is the big sacrifice where it could affect the friendship permanently. But Molly Mcgee, at her most selflessness, she decides to let Scratch go in human form because, like I said before, it's what's best for him. It's best for Scratch to beat Todd. And while Molly is going to remember all the memories she had with the ghost, it's the ghost Scratch himself that is ultimately going to forget about Molly. And that's where Scratch says, with a tearful eye, "If I forget you, I'm sorry."
Oh, yeah. Again, God, this moment is just absolutely beautiful.
Where are the tissues? Give me my tissues.
I know. This was just an absolute beautiful moment. I mean, I kind of teared up. It's kind of like the same thing when I teared up in the Amphibia finale, okay? This was absolutely like, oh my God. I mean, you're expecting Scratch and Molly to pretty much last till the end, but it didn't turn out to be that way. This is definitely better for Scratch to live his life back in his soulless body with Todd, and to have Todd pretty much like, you know, live the best that he can. And it is with a sacrifice, the fact that Molly will never see Scratch again. And again, it's just it's heartbreaking. And I do feel for Molly, considering that, you know, we followed Molly and Scratch throughout this whole entire show of the Ghost of Molly Mcgee. Now it's pretty much Molly Mcgee.
Yeah, that's one thing that the Disney TVA shows have been consistently good at. It's series finales.
Yeah. And these series finales have been amazing. I mean, Owl House, Amphibia, now with the Ghost of Molly Mcgee.
And Gravity Falls.
And Gravity Falls, yes. We got to pick out the OG there for sure. If even possible, if you want to bring that up too. But nonetheless, Disney does an amazing job when it comes to season finales. And again, they did a peak. Did a really big peak moments here when it came to season finales for Disney TVA shows. And Ghost of Molly Mcgee never failed to do that. It turned out to be very stellar. So no doubt, I mean, this moment just absolutely broke my heart. I mean, Molly and Scratch pretty much are separated now, and now you're kind of wondering, will Scratch ever return? Well, that will be answered in the next couple of minutes, actually, because in this particular last couple of scenes here, we get to see Todd literally living his best life. Look, he's not the depressed mode anymore. He's literally wearing that Hawaiian shirt he's been stowing away for years. He's ready to pretty much adventure out. Yeah. He's happy. He's like all around Brighton, just, you know, pretty much being happy and just having a bright smile in Brighton.
And that's what I love about this. It shows a contrast between Todd, like in the post-Scratch era, and Todd in the pre-Scratch era. Like, because what it comes down to is not just the happy personality of Todd as opposed to the depressed mood of Todd before he became a ghost. It's also contrast of color. Because if you look at here, whereas in the musical number, you see the entire animation be like all dark, gloomy, with a bit of light to it. Here, however, it's sunshiny, it's bright, and also it also comes down to the clothes that they wear. Because you say that depressed Todd wearing a gray suit, which does symbolize the depressing, boring Todd, whereas with the Hawaiian shirt, it symbolizes the happy-go-lucky Todd that Todd always wanted to be but couldn't until now.
Right. And again, like I said, Todd is just absolutely being happy. But in these last couple of moments, we get to see the ghost friends try to do their best to at least have some sort of memory, that fact that they know that this particular Todd Scratch person knows them. So we get to see Libby try to say like, hey, I love about this ghost thing, but apparently this Todd person doesn't know about ghosts. Daryl's about to do a prank that he wants to have Todd involved in, but he doesn't know about pranks. He even what was it, Pete and Sharon literally giving what Scratch's favorite foods, yum yums, and the strawberry soda.
And keep in mind, like, this is a guy who has been rewarded with a strawberry soda fountain in the previous episode after he defeated Jinx. So
yeah,
let's be real here. Like, this is quite a contrast, like, between gobbling up all the strawberry soda in the strawberry soda fountain and being all weirded out and freaked out by the mere sight of someone handing someone a strawberry soda bottle by someone in a strawberry soda suit.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, I mean, all of them ended up, trying to do their best to at least get Scratch's memories back, but that turned out to be not available. Again, this Todd person just continues to follow down the road to his bus stop to pretty much adventure out to anything that he wants to do. But this leads to this moment where Molly actually is in that bus stop and actually talks to Todd. And Todd looks like he has an adventure waiting to happen. He's ready to go to all these other places. But as his bus arrives, Molly had one more word to give to Todd, and pretty much tells him like, don't forget about your friends here in Brighton. And it was just another sad moment to see Molly literally say all these words, saying like, Todd, don't forget your friends here at Brighton, etc.
My heart, man, my heart.
Although, to be fair, there were some moments where it's like, maybe there's a little bit of scratch in him, considering that he even said the word in Happify, and even said Mall. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did he know Molly Mcgee?
Yeah, it's weird because he doesn't remember anything else, but somehow he somehow remembers Molly's name. Like, he calls her Moll for some reason. And I think I have come to the theory. I think it's because Scratch deep down values his friendship with Molly so much that he still keeps the memory of
like
Molly's name in his heart.
It's like a slight glimmer of like hope that Scratch actually still knows about Molly Mcgee or something in there. But again, like I said, it's absolutely vague to see. Again, Scratch is pretty much on a bus. He's ready to go home, and obviously the McGees and everybody else who knows Scratch literally says goodbye to him. They were thinking that he's gonna live a best life and all that kind of jazz. And yes, I also do want to bring up the fact that Libby actually did give a little quote that I would actually appreciate now. And I'm like, God damn it, Libby, I love you a lot, but like, oh my God, you had to break my heart too again.
It's a quote that we should all live by, like going into our years to come. I think this is a quote that we should all live by, and we especially need that quote in this new year. So I do appreciate Libby's quote a lot.
Yeah, and no doubt it was absolutely just amazing just to see that. Again, that pretty much ends the entire show of the Ghost of Molly Mcgee, but that was it. But the end credits actually did give us a little bit of more things to look at. For example, well, you'd see Ada and Scratch actually meet together up in the mountaintop, and
they're reunited.
That's precious. That's just amazing. So if anything, they're reunited after what, like 30 plus years of being separated. I'm like, maybe not get married. I'm just
the ships, the fanfics. You're giving material to the Ghost of Molly Mcgee fanfics. I'm just like, they're working on the fanfics right now.
Yeah,
as we speak.
Yeah, I know the Ghost of Molly Mcgee fans are still going to have like a lot of fuel to feed off. I mean, Amphibia fans are still doing it right now. Same with the Owl House fans when it comes to something post show. And then also we did get this one sad moment where we get to see Scratch and Molly in one last painting.
Oh man, and that's the last we see of the show. Oh my God, I miss it so much.
Yeah, that's it for the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. So, yeah, the end, I doubt, was the end of the show. But I would have to say this, definitely one of the best episodes I've seen when it comes to a season finale, and for a show finale, actually. And it edited the show perfectly, pretty much like answering all those questions that we've had, especially when Scratch's backstory was brought up in second season. And no, it was very quick, but there was just so much potential. There was so much things that were actually in it to at least know that Ada's alive and she's still out there roaming the world. It is kind of depressing to see that Scratch was a soulless person, like the real person of Scratch, Todd, was a soulless person, that Scratch was literally just by himself as a wraith. And in the end, just him going back there and actually having that friendship of Scratch and Ada together again, it just makes me feel like I kind of had a very, very happy ending. So I really do love it. I really do love this ending. It was no doubt a amazing, like, perfect ending to the Ghost of Molly Mcgee.
I would say, like, it is the best episode to come out of the show in such a long time. Like, it's been a long while, and I mean long while, since we had a Ghost of Molly Mcgee episode that was of this high quality.
It definitely is, and I'm like, I understand, like, Ghost of Molly Mcgee fans, we have not had, I mean, I've been bashing on this for quite a while, that season 2 was definitely, like, really one of the bad seasons, and I'm not gonna lie, it was, but if at least it ended with the end, it actually did turn out to be quite peak with the ending of the Ghost of Molly Mcgee. But I do have to say this though, if they actually end, I have a theory right now where I'm thinking like the end of season 2 of would be Jinx versus the human world, and then in between, Jinx versus the human world, and the end would be season 3. All of that was season 3 content that was pretty much wasted, and then the end just happened. So it's like there's so much hidden content in that season 3 batch. Even like the writers and the creators even released like so many of the scripts, and I'm like, wow, this is great potential. I mean, we could have had a was it the Andrea and the Andrea ship with that one girl finally happen.
Yeah, like I said before, release the Bill and Bob cut. It wasn't their fault, nor the show's fault, that the series was cut that short. Like, it was due to outside circumstances.
There's a lot. Actually, there's a lot of circumstances that we're going to bring up. By the way, we're not stopping when it comes to the talk of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. We have a special episode coming up, planned up this year to talk about the demise of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, because there's a lot of factors that come to it, and it's not just Disney. It's a lot of other people, including you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna delve into, like, we're gonna touch upon a particular problem with this in a future episode. But yeah, needless to say, there's actually a more deeper reason as to why Ghost and Molly Mcgee was of that particular length.
Yeah, if anything, this is a perfect way to end the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. And I understand we have missed out quite a bit. Season 3 was supposed to be in the works, but something happened where they kind of cut it to just make it into 2 seasons. But I mean, the way that it ended would have been perfect. If it actually didn't end with, it's great that it didn't end with Jinx versus the Human World, because Jinx versus the Human World was really bad. If anything, like, it gave Steve more potential to see, like, maybe we could have had more moments in season 3. But with this, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if anything, I do love the conclusion. It's just amazing. Ghost and Molly Mcgee, I do miss it. I'm gonna miss it a lot. I admit, it's just great. But again, we're gonna miss it.
It went the Owl House route, in which there could have been more material to come before the ending. Like, it wasn't the show's fault nor the creator's fault that the series was cut short. It was due to certain circumstances like that. But Owl House, much like the Ghost of Molly Mcgee, they both ended on a powerful note, and they gave satisfying conclusions to the character arcs.
Right, exactly.
To the stories.
So I'm going to say this, though. I mean, we have a lot more to talk about when it comes to the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. It's a lot more to discuss here. But again, we'll do that in another episode. But again, Ghost and Molly Mcgee, second season, even though it was kind of the worst season of the Ghost and Molly Mcgee, there's just way too much stuff that was coming around with it. At least you edited perfectly. Again, we'll talk more about this in another episode, but the end was just perfect. A great ending.
And so, yeah, with that, so as we wrap up the Ghost and Molly Mcgee review, like the final Ghost and Molly Mcgee episode reviews, we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much to Bill, Bob, as well as the cast and crew for giving us such a memorable show like Ghost and Molly Mcgee.
It definitely was an amazing show. Thank you very much, Bill and Bob. And I don't know what happens in the future when it comes to your guys' shows, but Godspeed. Hope we will see you in another show coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Like, these two deserve to be in like future projects. They deserve to have their animation careers go on.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for our review of Ghost and Molly Mcgee. That took like an hour 30 minutes.
Yeah, we had a lot to talk about regarding, especially the Ghost and Molly Mcgee episodes. There was so much to talk about. So yeah, that's why it was at that length, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so award season has just started, and it all started off with the Golden Globes, literally during the first week of January. We already talked to you guys about the nominees that came out, and there's a lot of big nominees that came out. I mean, Barbie movie got nominated a lot, Oppenheimer got nominated, and then also the Best Animated Feature, which we were all looking into. Like, what was it? Super Mario Brothers movie, you got Spider-Verse, you got Boy and the Heron, you got Suzume. I mean, there's a lot of amazing things. We're kind of thinking, like, maybe one of these could actually win. I actually put my underdog pick on Suzume, but all of us were actually thinking Spider-Verse was going to win.
Yeah, Spider-Verse was our pick to win, so...
Yeah, but we actually have to talk about what happened over the Oscars. Well, sorry, not the Oscars, the Golden Globes. The Oscars coming up real soon, which hopefully we get to see the nominees next week while we're recording.
Yes.
What people are saying. But let's talk about who won. And first off, Oppenheimer definitely did an amazing job. First off, for like Best Director, which was Christopher Nolan. Actually, this is his first time winning a Golden Globe, so congrats to him.
Yes, and because he's one of my favorite movie directors of all time, like, it makes me so happy to see Christopher Nolan get the Golden Globe.
Actually, great to see Christopher Nolan actually go for a movie like that. That movie is just absolutely stunning. Best Picture, I think, Best Picture, the drama series, that was also Oppenheimer. So, yes, oh my God, amazing. What was it? You get to see Best Supporting Actor.
Best Supporting Actor for Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
pulling out the role as Louis Strauss, and then you get to see Best Actor in a Motion Picture, which is Cillian Murphy as Dr. Robert Oppenheimer himself.
Yeah,
and also Best Soundtrack, like Best Original Score by Ludwig.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, I was absolutely stunned with Oppenheimer. I loved the movie. Watching it in XD, which was like that amazing experience.
Yes.
Literally, you're like on your seats and you hear the bomb explode. Your seats are pretty much vibrating.
I've had the fortunate experience of watching it in 70 IMAX.
Which is like wider, right? Is that the...
It is the widest. So, yes, it was definitely such a grand, big movie theater experience. And Oppenheimer was the perfect movie to watch in that format.
It was just absolutely amazing. So it did deserve all those Golden Globe wins to me. So I actually appreciated that.
Yes. Let's tell you, I adore the movie. Like, the story is really grand. The characters are all multidimensional, and of course the screenplay is very sharp. And the scenes with the explosion, they're very well detailed, very well handled when you consider the fact that none of it feels like CGI at all. They're very well handcrafted.
Indeed, yeah. So, no doubt, I mean, Oppenheimer, it's definitely an amazing movie. We already talked about this during our summer movie run, and I love the whole movies about that. Yes. It definitely was an amazing movie. So, yeah, Oppenheimer deserved all those kind of praise. I also do want to bring out the fact that Emma Stone ended up winning a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a comedy series, too. I'm not gonna lie, she's rising up, by the way. She's winning a lot of things now. So, it tells me, Emma Stone... You're about to get some amazing movie deals coming up.
Yeah, Emma Stone was in award nominating movie called Poor Things, which I still have yet to see Poor Things, but I've heard good things about the movie.
Yeah, if anything, I mean, I was a big Emma Stone fan, even though she made like when I was younger, like all those young movies that she made. So if anything, yeah, she deserved that kind of praise. And yeah, great job for Emma Stone. But I do want to continue on with other movies. Barbie, for example. Barbie is a really amazing movie, but when it came into the Golden Globes, it only had 2 wins. It got a Best Original Song with What I Was Made For. That was bound to happen, I'm not gonna lie. With, what was it, Billie Eilish singing that song. I felt very passionate and everything. I know that I'm Just Ken and Dance the Night were also nominated as well, and I understand I'm Just Ken could actually win probably the Oscar, but What I Was Made For was absolutely passionate. I was like, yes, that deserved the Golden Globe for sure.
I can see why What I Was Made For was one, because it was a heartfelt song. It really was a soul that it's a song that hits you deep. Mm-hmm. But I'm Just Ken, I feel like had more passion to it. It was more fun to listen to and all that stuff. But I do love both. I do like both songs.
Well, if anything, I was gonna say like any of those Barbie songs could have won the Golden Globe. All right, so they're all great. Just a heads up, they're all great. Yeah. And then it also did win Cinematic and Box Office Achievement. I actually don't know what that particular category means, box office achievement. Was it just because of like the massive numbers in the box office?
It could be. I think it could be. It's a combination of how much money it made plus the cinematic influence it had on the mass public. Because when Barbie came out, it was a cultural phenomenon. There was even like a huge cult-like following Barbie. You had people dressing in pink.
Yes, I remember. I clearly remember that because I was the only one wearing black for Oppenheimer. So everybody was wearing pink when we were watching Barbie, and this is literally a Barbieheimer day because we were watching Oppenheimer first and Barbie after. And I totally forgot my pink shirt, so I couldn't be able to actually watch Barbie in pink. I was wearing black for Oppenheimer.
I was much more hyped for Oppenheimer myself anyway because I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan.
Barbie was still a good movie.
Barbie was still a good movie, but out of the two, Oppenheimer is better, but Barbie is still a good movie. Yeah,
Barbie is still a good movie. I would still say it deserves all the praise, but not Best Picture. I mean, you're fighting against Oppenheimer. I would imagine Oppenheimer win. If Barbie wins, that's literally bad for Oscars.
I think it was more like if Barbie actually does win Best Picture, it would be the Academy Awards listening to the Barbie cult members, not cult members, but it's more on the lines of the Pink Squad,
maybe the voters are Barbie fans. That's the reason why they vote for her.
Well, yeah, like the people in pink are the voters.
No, I think Oppenheimer pretty much hands it down. I just see a foreshadowing, but if they win the Golden Globe, there's a high chance they win the Oscar too.
By the way, Oppenheimer is still my favorite movie of the year, so of course I'm going to pick a twin best picture. So.
Right. And then, of course, what you all been waiting for is the best animated feature film. There's a lot of great nominees that came out of it. We all were thinking Spider-Verse. But out of all places, one film actually got the award, and it wasn't Spider-Verse. It was Boy and the Heron. And I'm like, I was shocked as heck. Because I was thinking like, okay, guys, this is Spider-Verse all hands down. But Boy and the Heron won? Is it just because of Miyazaki? Is that reason why he ended up winning? Is it that great? I didn't think it was that great. I'm not gonna lie,
really?
y'all. No, I thought Suzume was better.
I thought Boy and the Heron was better because of the fact of how it touched upon the story of grief and how to pretty much move on from it.
So the way I kind of saw Boy and the Heron, it kind of feels like Spirited Away. Yes. Spirited Away, I felt like had a more impactful meaning compared to Boy and the Heron. Yes, a boy is grieving the fact that his mom died, and it doesn't like the new mom and the Boy and the Heron. And this boy and Heron are working together throughout this whole fantasy of like animals. And I'm like, okay, for in a perspective kind of way, I'm kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, was it Tiger King? There was a girl, apparently like some sort of mom sister or something like that. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So it got me really confused. I'm not gonna lie. Did you watch it in Japanese sub or dub?
I watched it in English sub because I love.
That's what I did too. That's what I did too, and I still got so confused.
Because I like the all-star cast. So you got Robert Pattinson voicing the Heron, and then you got Mark Hamill being in the all-star cast too. So just seeing the name Mark Hamill alone got me thinking, okay, I'm gonna watch it on English.
You got Florence Pugh. You've got what was it? Christian Bale was in this as well. There's a lot of big names in it, and I went for the English dub as well. But I was thinking like, would it be a difference if we actually watched the Japanese sub? Because like I said, I just didn't get it. I don't know, maybe it was just like maybe something that I was just absolutely like maybe directly into like watching. I understand the visuals and stuff, they were amazing, but I didn't get the point of the story. So I didn't vote Boy and the Heron. I was thinking Suzume would definitely beat out Boy and the Heron more. Well, obviously not beat out Spider-Verse, but I love Suzume more. That was my underdog pick.
Yeah, I will say, like, this was pretty much Hayao Miyazaki pulling a giant upset on Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
This was a big upset.
And I don't know what the Golden Globe people were voting for. I'm like, dude, Spider-Verse was undoubtedly, like, one of the best films out there.
Spider-Verse was the best of the... Spider-Verse is still the best category of that category, in my opinion.
I mean, it beats out every other categories, every other, like, movie that were in that category. Sorry, Mario Brothers movie. But, come on, dude. You facing off with... Okay, look. You're facing off with Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse was so much better than Mario Brothers movie. You have to admit that.
Well, yeah, I do concede the fact that, yes, Spider-Verse, when you look at it from a technical standpoint, the Spider-Verse is a superior film to Super Mario Bros. Movie. Sorry, it's Mario fans, I know it's a betrayal. Look what I'm wearing right now on the top of my head. But yeah, all in all, I thought Across the Spider-Verse was going to win. But yeah, somehow Hayao Miyazaki pulled out that giant upset of The Boy and the Heron. And you know what? As a Miyazaki fan and as a fan of the movie, I was okay with it.
I was again shocked because I was like, Spider-Verse gets it hands down. And again, Suzume, what I think is better than even Jess agrees with me too. I think Suzume is better than The Boy and the Heron. We don't get the point of it. Like, maybe we were just blindsided or something.
Like,
maybe we have to watch it again so that we can understand the whole meaning of The Boy and the Heron. I get it. It's visually stunning. It looked great, but I was like, I'm so confused at the point of the story. Maybe I missed it or something, but.
Like, it's more along the lines of the fact, like, you know, it's a boy, like, in a coming of age story. He's learning to move on from grief, but it's not easy to move on from grief. So you pretty much have to, you know, find your purpose to move on. I think that was the point.
Yeah, and he was able to do that with all the adventures he went through. Apparently, that tower is the way to get into the other world.
That's how it is. Yeah.
I feel bad for the one of the old maids. Apparently, she was also dragged into this world or something. So she was like some sort of like pendant or whatever thing she became. And that's what makes it so weird. I'm like, what? How did she become this? Who's this girl? And she would never see her again. What? It looked like she was a cute girl that was going to help the boy out, you know?
I feel like the younger version of that older woman served as some sort of like mentor.
I know it's supposed to be a symbolism for her mom, for his mom. Yes,
it's a symbolism for his mom. Like he needed the next female figure that reminded him of, you know, his mother in some way, shape, or form.
No, exactly. And I was like, okay, maybe I can get there. I would say I have to watch it again. I'm literally going to watch it again just because I definitely missed out on a lot of things.
I will say, like, Boy and the Heron and Suzume do share something in common for me. Like they're both not the best movies to come out of their respective studios. My favorite Studio Ghibli movie is Princess Mononoke, and my favorite Makoto Shinkai movie is Your Name. Mm-hmm. But they both stand solid to me. So
I'm just saying it like, no doubt. I mean, if The Boy and the Heron wins the Golden Globes, does it have a chance for the Oscars? And I'm thinking Spider-Verse might win that.
I will say, we don't even know what's going to win the Annies, first off, because Annie Award is going to be a bloodbath between the.
There's so many. There's so many like amazing. There's so many nominees for that, which we'll just skim through. We'll go through the big ones for that, but we're running out of time. So
what I like about this is that this win makes the upcoming award ceremonies unpredictable, because now that this comes
very unpredictable. But the fact that I just never expect Boy and the Heron to win, I was like, wow. But then you know that some movies would end up getting the win. Barbie winning some amazing movies here and there. Was it Poor Things winning some categories? Oppenheimer winning a lot of categories. And now when the Oscar nomination comes out next week while we're recording, you're thinking these are big lead like movies that are going to go into the Oscar nominations.
Yeah, so because of this, you never really know what's going to win, and that's what makes it more exciting. It's that it's not going to be like an easy prediction. It's at the point where like anything can win.
No, exactly. So now we don't know what will happen, but again, the Golden Globes, if anything, is pretty much the start of the award season. If anything, it did really give us surprises here and there, but we also do have a lot more awards to go through. The Annies, which we're going to be talking about next, but we also do have the Anime Awards that we're also going to be talking about too. The GLAAD Awards are also happening as well. We're going to be discussing that later on in the future in 2024. And of course, the Academy Awards. We have to bring that up as well. So.
Yeah, so what I love about this is that like award season is a gold mine full of material to talk about in this podcast, because I'm going to be honest. I have so much fun talking about award ceremonies in general, because we pretty much pick who we want to win, who we think is going to win, what we think about this, what we think about that. It's just so fun to talk about.
So the Golden Globes might be done, but we do have the Annie Awards to talk about, which is going to be our last topic of the night. We're not really going to do much. I do want to bring up a couple of things. Let's actually go on to Best Writing in a Feature, because there's some nominees that actually are notable for both of us. First off, Nimona, the Netflix film that came out last year.
I love Nimona.
Robot Dreams. I don't know what that's from. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Suzume, and The Boy and the Heron. Those are really good films. I mean, who would you pick for Best Writing?
It's sort of a three-way head-to-head between Nimona, Boy and the Heron, and Suzume. I'm going to say Nimona because of the deep themes that it tackles about prejudice and all that stuff, while adding in a fun little twist towards Nimona, the character, like her shape-shifting and all that stuff. And yeah, it's pretty much, it's a combination of, fun and heartfelt emotion, raw emotion to it, which is why, like, I adore Nimona and its writing.
For me, I feel like Nimona is a really good category, but at the same time, there's other three movies that I think will be better. Suzume, TMNT, and The Boy and the Heron. Oh man, I love Suzume a lot. It's a really good, amazing movie. Boy and the Heron, writing-wise, meh. I already said this before, but I didn't get the point. I get it, yes. I really stuck between Suzume and TMNT, but I have to go to Suzume. Maybe favoritism on my part, but I do love Suzume, so I'm picking that one to be best writing.
Not biased at all.
Shut up. All right, so let's go to best voice acting. There are pretty amazing shows that we can actually bring up here. Archer, you had what was it on FX? Craig Before the Creek. Yes, Craig Before the Creek, the Cartoon Network prequel to Craig of the Creek. Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Yes.
Solar Opposites and The Velveteen Rabbit. Now, I think we're all gonna go for Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur.
Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. Let's go.
How about Solar Opposites? Remember, they did change the voice actor.
So I've seen a bit of Solar Opposites season 4, and I will say the new voice actor for Corvo actually does a solid job. I especially like the inside joke, the fourth breaking the fourth wall joke about how, oh, I changed my voice. This sounds better. I'm just like, indeed, it does sound better.
It does sound better, yes.
For many reasons.
So if anything, Solar Opposites I think would also be up there as well. But I mean, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur, no doubt, absolutely amazing show. So I'm picking that as my best voice acting.
Same here, honestly. I'm picking Moon Girl.
So how about best voice acting in a movie? You have Merry Little Batman. I don't know what that was. Migration, the movie that we just watched recently.
Yes.
Nimona, Suzume, and the Super Mario Brothers movie. Ooh.
I'm gonna say this right now. I am championing. I am rooting so hard for Jack Black to win that particular category for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Because keep in mind, this is the one and only nomination that the Super Mario Bros. Movie has gotten for the Annie Awards. Whereas
They only have one nomination?
You only have one nomination. I'm just like, okay, you gotta give the Super Mario Bros. Movie this. Okay, like all the other movies could take the other ones. Just please let Super Mario Bros. Have this one. Please, please, please.
Oh my god. Oh god, this is really hard to pick as well. I'm very sorry. I don't know Barry Little Batman, so that's off. Nimona's off. I'm sorry too. Migration, Suzume, and Super Mario Bros. Movie. Migration. I don't think it's gonna win. Even though it looked great of a good movie and a good original movie, the voice acting was somewhat okay.
And keep in mind, this isn't just a bias thing, but take a look at a particular actor that is nominated for this.
We'll look at that later. Does Jack Black in it, or
it's Jack Black?
Okay, that's what I thought. I actually will have to do the same thing too. I'll actually pick Super Mario Brothers movie. I feel like they did pick the right cast, even though people are saying Chris Pratt is not the best Mario out there. But I still say it definitely had some great voice acting there. So yes, I will put Super Mario Brothers movie on it.
Thank you. Let's go.
Yeah, and then also I don't know the Suzume English voice acting, so I will not pick that, obviously. So let's go to best music in the animated feature films. Elemental is one of the nominees. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Suzume, TMNT, and The Boy and the Heron. So all are great movies, by the way.
All are great movies with great soundtracks.
Omid, what would you pick for best music?
Best music, Boy and the Heron, because Joe Hisaishi is my boy. You can't go wrong with Joe Hisaishi. He's a legend.
Suzume's really good with Rad Wimps, though.
that is true. Like I love Rad Wimps. Went to Rad Wimps concert, but let's be honest. Like Joe Hisaishi is the ultimate goat, in my opinion. No disrespect to Rad Wimps.
I'm going to actually not pick both of them. I'm actually going to go straight to Spider-Verse. I feel like that soundtrack is absolute banger.
Spider-Verse is banger. That soundtrack is kick-ass, so I do see why you would pick that. It was hard for me to pick because, let's be honest, the music in all these movies are, all of them are bangers at the end of the day. It's hard to choose, but ultimately, because of the name, I got to go with The Boy and the Heron. Okay.
So let's move over to best direction, directors of how they actually make the great films and stuff. So we're going straight to the feature. We don't know the TV shows. I'm very sorry. That's the reason why we're skipping this. So the best direction when it comes to an animated feature film, Nimona, Robot Dreams. I still don't know what that movie is. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, and The Boy and the Heron. So when it comes to direction, what are you picking?
In terms of direction, I would say Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse because of how the direction it takes with the animation and the story and the characters. Like, all of them turn out to be, so big, so epic, so grand, and very colorful and fluid in all the places. Because, especially towards the animation and how they look so vivid, so colorful, so lively, and so distinct. Like each animation style is so distinct from one another. Based on where the story takes place, because you had Gwenverse, which has its own animation style. You had Miles Morales' universe, which has his own animation style. Like, pretty much each animation style is so different and unique in the animated film. So yes, Spider-Verse.
I think I'm going to go down as well. I'm going to say Spider-Verse as well, just because it just looks amazing. Best direction, but the fact that, the story was flowed out really well. The animation style was just absolutely amazing. It definitely beat out Into the Spider-Verse. So I say, myself, I do want to see Across the Spider-Verse win this one.
Yeah, it definitely takes what makes Into the Spider-Verse so amazing and increases up to tenfold.
Exactly. All right, now let's go into Best Character Animation in a Feature Film. Best Character Animation in a Feature Film. Again, 5 amazing films, by the way. Elemental, Nimona, Ruby Gilman, Teenage Crack. Wait, are you serious?
Somehow Ruby Gilman found a way to sneak into an Annie Award nomination.
That's not gonna win. Suzume and The Boy and the Heron. Ooh, that's a tough one too. Who are you picking?
Nimona, because of how each of the characters look with a nice blend of 2D and 3D animation mixed together, and especially how they captured the shape-shifting of Nimona, the character herself, really does make me pick Nimona for that category.
Boy, this is tough to pick. I'm not gonna lie, Elemental did have some amazing character development with the water, the ice, the fire, and the wind. You know, that looks amazing. All of the character designs on that. So I think that's very clever of them. I actually would go for underdog here and go for Elemental.
That does seem fair because, well, you did bring up about the fact of how they do capture the character animation of Ember and Wade, and, you know, with the character animations as the fire and water
and the fact that they look so flowing, like they look amazing the way that Pixar animated them. I was like, they really should deserve it. It was just looked flawless.
Especially the fire, how the fire moves on Ember specifically. Like, that was peak character animation on Elemental.
That's why I was saying Elemental probably will get the best character animation. Now, I do want to switch over to TV and media because there's a category, there's a certain nominee in here that we need to talk about. So, best character animation in TV media: Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. Really good show, by the way. Blue Eye Samurai, which is getting a lot of nominations, and I need to watch it on Netflix now. Kizashi Imoto, Generation Fire, don't know that one. Star Wars Visions, the anime, you know, all the anime Star Wars films. And then, The Amazing Digital Circus. Out of all people, out of all freaking nominees, this YouTube pilot ended up actually getting an Annie nomination.
Yes, The Amazing Digital Circus found a way to become an Annie Award nominating project.
And FYI, there was like, what, over 500 million views of this pilot, and everybody's being a big fan of this. For being best character design, I think so, because all this, the really odd shape, Pomni being like a clown, you got Jax who's the rabbit, you got Ragatha who's like a
the character animation is so unique.
Here's what I want to see: if they win, everybody has to go up there. That's their only nomination in the Annies.
Yes, Amazing Digital Circus is, well, amazing. The story is weird and unique in a good way. The character animation, each character design looks so unique. And yes, Amazing Digital Circus is a project that was so successful. It blew everyone's minds. Give Amazing Digital Circus the win right now. Palm knee. Look,
the animation is absolutely flawless. I don't think I've seen any other animation shows that have had this kind of peak, like, amazingness when it comes to animation. So, yes, I do put my vote down for The Amazing Digital Circus. I definitely hopefully win. All right, now let's go to the big categories coming up. Now let's actually start off with the best TV media show, mature audiences. So we're going to the 13 and up category here. Big Mouth, Blue-Eyed Samurai, Bob's Burgers, Capsules, and Scavenger's Reign. Okay, so the only thing that kind of popped out to me is Bob's Burgers, and then Blue Eye Samurai. Again, a lot of people talk about it, and they say that it's a really good show. And then Big Mouth, I don't know why that got nominated on Netflix. But what's your pick on mature TV show?
You know, I haven't seen much of Bob's Burgers. I've heard a lot of good things about Blue Eye Samurai. I need to see that. Big Mouth, I definitely will not watch, and That fourth show, what was it?
Capsules.
I haven't seen Capsules.
Yeah, so. I haven't seen Capsules or Scavengers. I heard Scavengers Reign is also pretty good, but I'm gonna pick Blue Eye Samurai. I heard that it was undoubtedly like great animation, amazing story, you know, that kind of stuff here and there. So I would put my vote down for Blue Eye Samurai.
Blue Eye Samurai, but I still need to watch it.
Okay. Now let's go to Best TV Media Children's Show. This is the best children's show for the Annies. One of them is Curses from DreamWorks. I still don't know that show. Hilda, by the way, Hilda's nominated for this. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, My Dad the Bounty Hunter, and Shape Island. Two of options are right there for you: Hilda or Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. So, what's your pick on that one?
Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah, I think so too. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. I haven't seen Hilda latest season yet, so
I've seen Hilda like the first 2 seasons and the Mountain King movie. I still haven't gone to season 3 just yet, but I have seen some of like Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, and Hilda, and out of the two, I say Moon Girl is better, but I do like Hilda as well.
All right. Okay, sounds good. I do want to put out this part here, best sponsored, which is pretty much like an animation sponsored advertisement. There's like Up in Smoke, A Laugh Track, The National, Alzheimer's Research UK changed the ending. But there's also this one nominee called Video Games by Tenacious D. Do you remember that little cartoon short that Tenacious D did?
I don't think I quite see.
You didn't see it? Okay, so we have to put it up. He needs to watch it, by the way. It's literally like Jack Black and the other guy from Tenacious D saying, I don't play video games no more. I don't play video games. And there's a big animation part about it, and it's actually really funny to watch. So it's just short advertisement, but it does promote video games, and it's pretty fun.
I do. As a huge gamer myself, this is something I definitely need to see.
So I'm going to pick that one for sure.
I'm going to pick that one because, well, I love video games, so yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the... Okay, I think there's only one more nomination that we can actually bring up here before we end our show tonight. The Best Feature. Now, obviously, there's only 5 nominees that comes to it, but when it comes to all the animated movies that came out in 2023, you're thinking, like, who actually can make that cut when it comes to Best Animated Feature Film? So, here are your nominees for Best Feature for the Annie for 2024. Nimona from Netflix. Spider-Verse. Yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Suzume, the anime from Makoto Shinkai. TMNT, Mutant Mayhem from Nickelodeon. And The Boy and the Heron by Studio Ghibli. That's a lot of good picks. I'm not going to lie to you all. That's a lot of good picks. But it's really tough to actually pick. I mean, I have a lot to think about, but do you have a decision on Best Feature Film for the Annie?
I would say when you think about it, when you look at all these feature films, they all deserve to be there, and they're all really great. But honestly, if I had to choose, it would be a tie between Spider-Verse and Nimona.
But you have to pick one.
I know. Here's the thing. As much as I love Spider-Verse, I think Spider-Verse is the best movie of the year.
Well, those are you gonna pick Nimona.
Let me finish. As much as I love Spider-Verse, I do ultimately want to go with an underdog pick. Because keep in mind, this particular movie, it didn't even get nominated for Golden Globes, and in terms of Academy Award, getting nominated for Academy Awards, I don't even think that particular chance is that high. To be honest, it's not the movie's fault; it's what the Oscars pick. I'm gonna have to say my ultimate pick to root for Nimona.
Okay, so he's picking Nimona for Best Animated Feature Film on the Annie Awards. But you have like so many other good ones. TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, undoubtedly an underrated gem. I thought it was a great film. Boy and the Heron is already won the Golden Globe. Can it win the Annie? Because that's a high chance it could win an Annie after winning a Golden Globe. Suzume, oh my god, please, could people know that Makoto Shinkai is a really amazing like animator? Come on, he made an amazing film, and I really hope that wins. But that's not my pick.
Amazing films.
Yes, but that's not my pick. I really hope it wins. That's an underdog, but it's not my pick right now. Nimona, it doesn't have a chance. I'm very sorry. I don't think it has a chance to actually win it, considering the other 4 are way better to me.
Well, here's the thing. Like, when you think about Nimona, it's a movie that almost didn't get made. Like it was scrapped, but then it got rescued. It got saved, and it turned out to be so amazing, so outstanding. One of the best movies of that year for me. So, like, I will definitely say, like, in terms of Nimona winning Best Animated Feature, it would pretty much add more. It would add more glory to a movie that got saved and got made and got critically acclaimed to it. So as much as I want to pick Spider-Verse, like Nimona, I think would be a huge underdog story.
Okay, yeah, I understand Nimona's case, but then again, like these 4 films ended up like actually doing really well. I mean, if the box office for one thing, but at the same time, when it comes to the story, when it comes to animation, when it comes to just everything, when it comes to making an amazing feature film, I just feel like these 4 are way better. So Nimona, I don't doubt is scrapped. TMNT, even though it was really a great film, I would scrap it as well to not win the Best Feature. It really is up to those 3, Spider-Verse, Suzume, and The Boy and the Heron. Again, Boy and the Heron, like I said, I don't know the point of the story. I have to watch it again, so I will scrap this one. For the Annies, either between Spider-Man and Suzume, and I'm gonna pick Spider-Verse. I just feel like it's so much better for an animated feature film. They did so much work, and they deserve the praise for sure.
Yeah, here's the thing. It was hard for me too. It was hard for me too because it's like Don't make me choose.
Yeah, don't maybe choose Exceed. Oh my god. But no doubt, I mean, I feel like Spider-Verse definitely would win the best feature. So that's our picks for the Annie Awards. There's a lot more that we're going to bring up. But again, we will look through all of that event like later on after the show to say. So yeah, there's a lot more categories that are going on. Again, we'll do the same thing like we did back with the not the Golden Globes. What was the other award show?
It was the Emmys.
Yes, yeah. So
Emmys.
the Children's and Family Emmys.
Children's Emmys, yeah.
When we're gonna do those, we're gonna do the same thing. What we're gonna do here for the Annies this time, and then once the results come out, we will do a show where we're gonna do a part in another episode of the Anination podcast where we're gonna reveal our results. And say, for example, if somebody wins, we get a beer again.
Yeah. Can't wait to chug that beer.
Okay. We still have to redeem that beer from the Children of the Family Emmys, by the way. I still have to redeem it. I still need a beer, by the way.
Exactly. You got yourself a free beer, yet you never got a chance to
I know. I need to get away from the Baja Blast.
I can't wait for my eyes to just glare with envy as I watch you drink. I actually can wait. Actually, never mind.
What do you mean?
No, I actually can wait because, I say, oh, I can't wait for this. No, this is one of these why I can wait.
Okay, all right. You can wait.
I can wait to watch you drink beer.
Anyways, the Annie Awards are coming out in early February. Again, we don't know the specific date, but it will be coming around at that time. The nominations are currently out, so head over to the Annie Awards website, will be put down on the screen below, so that you can be able to check out all the full list of nominees. And you can also play along with us as well and see if your pick ends up winning the Annie Award.
Yeah, so all I got to say is get hyped for the Annie Awards and just wait until you hear the results.
And that's pretty much it for us here at the Anination Podcast. Again, a pretty long episode considering that we just spent like an hour long talking about the Ghost and Molly Mcgee. I'm very sorry that we do a very long time when it comes to doing episode reviews, but we're trying to do our best to reduce that.
Yeah, but let's just say that here's the thing: we're so passionate about the Ghost and Molly Mcgee that we ended up talking more about the episode than we really should. But it shows how passionate we are about it.
No, I understand that, but when it comes to our next episode reviews, we'll probably be back at the Loud Casa Talks where we talk about the new episode of the Loud House. That will be in a later time, so we'll schedule that in a later time.
Definitely.
But anyways, for those who are watching, thank you very much for watching. Come back next week as we talk about more in the world of animation. We promise not to be doing a long episode reviews this time.
Oh yeah, because there's no big grand series finale to talk about. No, it's just animation news that we want to give our input on.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the world of animation. I mean, yeah, a lot of things to talk about. I mean, one thing in particular we wanted to talk about was actually the SAG-AFTRA AI thing, and I'm like, ooh, do we really want to talk about that, Omid?
Yeah, let's just say that I've got some things to say regarding that news, and they're not so pleasant.
Yeah, so we're going to bring that up probably next week, and a lot more subjects coming up for next week. So be here. We're going to be here every Wednesday here on YouTube now, not on Twitch. We're going to be here on YouTube doing live recordings here for the Anination Podcast. So be here next week. We're going to be talking more on the world of animation. But until then, that's pretty much it for us here. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Catch you all later, and have a happy New Year, everybody. 2024.
Woo! All right, 2024 is already starting off really well. Yeah.
Yes.